Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Are you ready to sell your home? Call Dave Beach. He makes sure his clients receive the very best in service. Dave Beach at RE/MAX Community is your trusted local expert. Fast closings, top offers, and service just like your family. 609-685-4942. Online at soldbydavebeach.com.
South Jersey's official play-by-play home of the Eagles, Sixers, and Flyers.
Let's go!
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City.
Finally!
This is Hanging with Hennig.
I have friends everywhere.
On 97.3 ESPN Radio, South Jersey.
In New Jersey. Am I right? Yeah.
Live feed on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
Well, you're not wrong.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together.
Now, here's your host.
He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Josh Hennig.
I am Josh Hennig, and this is Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM, the 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City, streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio. Back in with me with the studio for another week is Alex Berardis. Alex, how you doing today?
Doing good on this fine Saturday morning. Getting ready for a big day of college football.
Huge day of college football. By the way, for those who are wondering, you can hear some of the college football action today on our sister station, Rock 104.1. We will have BYU versus Texas Tech, as well as Virginia versus Duke tonight. Here on 97.3 ESPN, we will have the SEC Championship. Coverage begins at 3:30, followed by the Big Ten Championship, Ohio State versus Indiana, all here on 97.3 ESPN. So we do got you covered on that front all day long with the college football. We'll get into college football, me and Alex as well, coming up a little bit later in the show. You will hear from Haley Taylor-Simon. She is on assignment today. You'll hear more about where she is at today. She'll be checking in about 20 minutes from now here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Also, we will be talking a lot of Eagles for a lot of obvious reasons, because this whole situation, Alex, with the whole Jalen Carter, you've lost 2 games in a row, it's getting a little messy, so we got to get into that as well. Plus, don't forget, Andy McNamara, as always, joins us at 1:25, presented by Tropicana Atlantic City, the Gridiron Pit, the ultimate watch and wager experience. We will be back there on December 27th. Rob Maaddi from the Associated Press will join us coming up at 2:20. So I don't know if you saw, Alex, but Rob and I got into a little bit of a back and forth on social media about quarterbacks. And so I figured, you know what? Instead of having this conversation like a bunch of petulant children on social media the whole time, why not actually ask my friend Rob Maaddi to come on the show to have a conversation?
Do it like a man, stand on business.
Exactly. So we are men around here. Well, at least I am. I can't speak for you. I won't put words in your mouth.
Oh, wow. I am. I'm a man.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm just double checking.
I
am. But we got a lot to get to. Folks can text in as well, 609-403-0973. We are also live on YouTube and X. Like, subscribe, download wherever you get your shows. YouTube, X, thank you for all who subscribe and tune in each and every week. But we got to start with the Eagles because of the fact, Alex, that this Jalen Carter news I felt like was a bit inevitable because of the way Fangio talked about him earlier in the week. I read an article on 97.3 ESPN.com a couple days ago about how, Fangio kind of let on that Jalen Carter was maybe a little banged up than he actually is. And so I kind of felt like, okay, this is maybe inevitable. But do we maybe take any solace in the fact that, this guy, Jalen Carter, has already missed 2 games, and you know how to play without him? Is that any, hey, at least we've done it before going into this game, or is the sky falling and the world is coming to an end, Alex?
It seems that way, more the latter side, but I only think that's because just of how bad last week's defense was. on the Black Friday game. This is still a top-tier defense in this league with, Jalen Carter is a premier defensive player, top player in this league. But you still have players. You still have Jalen Carter, Nakobe Dean, Zach Bond, Cooper DeJean, Quinyon Mitchell. You still got playmakers on that side of the ball. And then you also have Vic Fangio calling the shots. Now, I think a big part of it, though, is the opponent that we're facing this week. The run defense was horrible last week. And, we're playing a hardball offense. The Chargers, they're going to want to run it. They're getting O'Marion Hampton back. Honestly, I'm kind of in the boat. We're just going to have to wait and see how this plays out.
See, here's my position on some of this. And I don't disagree with what you're saying at all, because I think there's a lot of valid points you just made. I keep going back to the fact that something I heard a completely different set of coaches say a long time ago. Billy Schweim has had guys like Dick Vermeil on the show multiple times. And I know Dave Klemick, he knows Dick Vermeil very well. And Coach Vermeil has talked about something in the past, which is a lot of football is about effort. A lot of football is about how bad do you want it? Are you going to put the requisite effort in? Like tackling is an effort thing. Pursuing the ball is an effort thing. Hitting your gap is an effort thing. So to me, I look at it like this. If the Eagles want to win, I think they're going to win on Monday. But if they are going to have we've lost 2 in a row and things are kind of bad and we'll figure it out eventually, and then they're going to lose. To me, it's all about mindset. We got to stop acting like this team is not talented. They are ridiculously talented, okay? They are talented out the wazoo. But the problem with the Philadelphia Eagles is not talent. It's about mentality. I said this a month ago, and I'll say it again. This team has lost their championship mentality. Because you know what champions do? When champions get up 21-0, when they get up 17-3, they destroy you. They crush you. They put you out of your misery. The Philadelphia Eagles do not have the finishing ability right now. They're like a fighter who is like beating the snot out of somebody, and then they just stop punching. And everyone's like, you could have knocked the guy out. Well, what are you doing? They pull back. And then the fight goes to decision. They lose by decision. That's who the Eagles are turning into. They're turning into a fighter who cannot finish a fight. And frankly, I'm really tired of people, and listen, maybe I'm part of the problem, okay? Maybe I'm part of the problem because of my frustrations with Kevin Matullo and the offense and everything. But I think we all can agree that this is a team problem more than an individual problem. And listen, it's cute that Sirianni said on Hard Knocks this week that, hey, we went through bad stuff in 2023 and made us better for 2024. Well, you might have made you better for 2024, but it didn't make you better for 2025 because the Philadelphia Eagles are a team that looks like at times they don't want to be on the field. We live in a world where the New Orleans Saints are scrapping and clawing in games. We are living in a world where the Jets and the Dolphins are scrapping and clawing in games. And they are times, those teams with worse talent and worse players, in some cases, worse coaching, are finding ways to be competitive while the Eagles get a lead and they can't hold it. And then on Black Friday, and I'm still mad about this, how can you come out in front of your fans on a major nationally televised game and look like you have no clue what you're doing?
I was in Philly that day. Vibes were like at an all-time high. It just had the makings of today's going to be a great day. The tailgates were buzzing. Fans were rowdy. People were loving the day, loving the birds. And then they just put that. It just didn't make sense because I feel like in everybody's mind, it was like, if you're playing in that sort of environment where the city of Philadelphia is like riding behind you, like you're going to come out swinging. They couldn't even throw a jab that day. But I want to bring up the point you said, if they want to win, they can win. They better. Because the Dallas Cowboys, I'm not riding them off yet. They're 6-1. Eagles are 8-4. Cowboys, what is it, 8% chance now to make the playoffs?
They have an 8% chance. But to me, the Cowboys don't have a chance if the Eagles stop letting them in the back door.
That's where I was getting to.
Okay, gotcha. My bad.
No, all good. Look, Cowboys put up a stinker on Thursday night, lost CeeDee Lamb. George Pickens looks like a mental problem. But they got the Vikings, very winnable game. Chargers, probably a winnable game. It's a 50-50, but they could easily win that game. Commanders could win that game. Giants could win that game. Eagles, we play the Chargers. We should win this game. Raiders, we should win that game. Then 2 against the Commanders, I'd say there's a good chance you split that. And then the Bills game's a toss-up. There's still room for you to let the competition in. And like you said, good teams, championship teams, don't let that happen. So if this team really is the true championship level team that like you said, the talent's there. We know that. They did it last year with practically the same team with a few missing characters. But if they don't play like they want to win, this division's not set in stone yet. And then you have a much harder path to the championship if you somehow let this slip away.
Yeah, I mean, I like how you put away slip away because you're right. There is a scenario where they can just buckle down today, get their head on straight, and start winning games again. And I chalk up the Bills game probably to a loss no matter what, just because it's in Buffalo. If that game was in Philly, I'd feel differently, but I think the Buffalo, they're going to be desperate at that point to try to make sure they have a playoff spot because the way the AFC is set up. So if you look at the schedule right now as Chargers Monday night, Raiders the week after that, if you could at least win those 2 games, now you're to 10 wins. Now you're kind of in a safe zone where then you take care of business with Washington and then you lose to Buffalo, but then the final week of the year is not as consequential. You know what I mean?
I've had my eyes on this Raiders game, specifically depending on how Monday night goes. Because if Monday night is a loss or a win, but it just, again, did not look good like we've seen many times this year, doesn't this Raiders game feel very similar to that Cardinals game in the 23 season?
No, for one specific reason. And I will push back on that for one particular reason. Because the Cardinals game had Jonathan Gannon coaching. There was a guy on the other side of the field that knew you. The Raiders right now don't know who they are, let alone know you. So I'm a little less worried about the Raiders. The Cardinals, I remember I picked the Cardinals to cover the spread. That was a 12.5 point spread in that game, I think it was. So I thought the Cardinals would be competitive in that game, at least for me. I think the Eagles can beat the Raiders no matter what. The problem to me, though, is if you don't win Monday Night Football, if you don't win against the Chargers, Alex, now you're in a predicament where it's like, oh no, we lost 3 straight. We haven't lost 3 straight since 2023. Oh no. And then that's when, you ever see the gif of the guy profusely sweating?
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be, is that guy. So, that's why, to me, it all starts on Monday night. Because if you win on Monday night, now you beat the Raiders, and it's going to be no big deal. And then you can have a 2-game winning streak, and then you feel better, right? The vibes are different, to use your term. 609-403-0973 is the text board. He's Alex Berardis. I'm Josh Hennig. We're hanging out with you here on 97.3 ESPN. Squeezing in the text before we hit the break here. Evan from Little Lake Harbor, who always seems to hate the Eagles, chimes in and says, yo, Josh, this is Evan from Little Lake Harbor. I don't care about Jalen Carter. I'm talking about Jalen Hurts. He says, Caleb Williams and Drake May have better stats than a Super Bowl MVP. He's being beaten by young quarterbacks. The guy looks like he'd rather be reading a book than throwing a ball. A couple things, Evan, from Little Lake Harbor. First of all, you obviously hate the Eagles, so half of what you say has to take with a grain of salt. Second of all, you texted in all caps, so either you're doing voice to text and it's set the cap function, or you're just a very angry person. Third of all, stats don't tell the whole story. Because, for example, did you know that Kirk Cousins has a better career passer rating than Peyton Manning? Am I supposed to believe that Kirk Cousins is a better quarterback than Peyton Manning because of stats? No. You have to take everything and measure it, okay? Caleb Williams has a 51% completion percentage in his last 3 starts. Does that mean he stinks? Or does that mean the Bears said, you know what, our running game is so good, we don't need our quarterback to do anything? And by the way, Drake May looked horrible his rookie year, looks great with Josh McDaniel. So how am I supposed to know that if Jalen Hurts didn't have a novice for a coordinator, if Kevin Matula wasn't the guy in his ear, and they didn't get a guy from college to be his quarterback coach and Scott Loeffler, maybe, just maybe, Hurts would have better stats. And by the way, I think that the Hard Knocks show did a great job at showing that Hurts does have emotion. Okay, with him dropping F-bombs on the sideline and him being mad. I know Billy's giving me the side eye, but the reality is that we as a society have been programmed to only believe what we see. And for most of the year, what have we seen for the Eagles during a television broadcast? Him talking to Kevin Matula and looking miserable, okay? So, to me, there's a lot of times where we got to realize that sometimes the world wants us to see what they want us to see. And what happens then? We put forth limited informed opinions. So, Evan Little Lake Harbor, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a hater. I'd recommend you back off on the cap text, everybody, because sending all caps is probably going to get you in trouble with somebody down the road. But I'm okay with it here. Hanging with Hennig, Josh Hennig, Alex Berardis on 97.3 ESPN. And, of course, don't forget, Hanging with Hennig, as always, being brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook, the only sportsbook app offering you Caesars rewards. Use my promo code Radio20X to get your first 20 bets bonus to you. Must be 21 or to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. We'll hear from Haley Taylor Simon coming up next. Talk some Flyers with her and Alex and me, Josh Hennig. Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM. Streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio.
Tonight on Compass Media Network's coverage of NCAA football, we bring you the 2025 Big Ten Football Championship game, featuring the number 1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes and the number 2 ranked Indiana Hoosiers. Hyatt's Greg Daniels joined Chad Brown and me for all the action as one of the nation's top football conferences crowns its champion.
It's College Football Saturday on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 8 p.m.
Brought to you by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
This football season, catch every game at the best sports bar in South Jersey. Yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora features every Eagles game with the sound on, along with the biggest college football games on their TVs every Saturday. Don't miss out on yesterday's nightly food specials starting at 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday, along with reverse happy hour specials 9 p.m. to close each week. Plus, with the Flyers and Sixers season starting up, the place to be to watch the game is yesterday's Creekside Tavern on Roosevelt Boulevard in Marmora. So call your friends and catch all the games at the Y.
Making your home look brand new is what Work of Art Construction can do for you. Ready to remodel your bathroom or have a kitchen makeover? Art Masker has 40 years of experience in construction and knows how to make your home look like a work of art. Want to install a new back deck or invest in a new front door? Just call Art Masker at 609-788-4271 to learn more. Visit Work of Art Construction on Instagram to see how Work of Art Construction can make your home look brand new. Beautify your home with Work of Art. Call him at 609-788-4271 and let them make your home truly a work of art.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, a new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ins 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
Hey, get in. What? Who are you? I'm future you. Constipation with belly pain still coming back? Yeah. Mia, our doctor figured it out. She said it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, and Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Ring in 2026 at Nola's Bar and Lounge at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City. Make this New Year's an unforgettable night and enjoy a premium hosted bar and live music all night. Whether you're dancing the night away or toasting with friends, Nola's Bar and Lounge at Ocean Casino Resort is the place to celebrate the beginning of the new year. For tickets, visit theoceanac.com.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. It's your last chance to get exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-923-6829 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-923-6829. That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Now back to Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
I don't want them to gain another yard.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
You blitz all night!
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Josh Hennig back in the 97.3 ESPN studios, along with Alex Berardis, here on 97.3 ESPN. Of course, don't forget about this football weekend. You want to go to the best sports bar in South Jersey. Yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora with the sound on for every Eagles game, including Monday Night Football. But also don't forget about all the college games today. The Big 12, the Big 10, the SEC, the ACC championships. And you can watch them all on the TVs at yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora. And don't forget about their reverse happy hour specials, 9 p.m. to close during the week. And, of course, you should check out all of you got Flyers tomorrow as well at 1 o'clock. You can go watch the Flyers game over at yesterday's. They'll have all the games on the NFL games as well. So call your friends and check out all the games at the Y. All right, let's get to some more conversation now. She typically is going to be joining us either in studio or on location throughout the year, but Haley Taylor-Simon is on assignment today, and she joins us on 97.3 ESPN. Haley, welcome back in. How you doing today?
Hello, good to be back. Hi, Alex, too. It's a nice day today because there's no snow on the road, and I'm hanging with Hennig on the road. And yes, I came up with that rhyme.
Nice. Well, let's kind of hit on a couple topics with you because you won't be here for the full show with us because you will be calling now. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's Rider versus Yale, correct? Or did we lose you there for a second?
Hello.
Oh no, I'm back. It's you know how 95 can get. It's like that one little section.
Gotcha. So I was saying that you'll be on the call for Rider versus Yale on ESPN Plus, correct?
Yeah. So 2 p.m. tip-off.
Yep.
My first ESPN Plus game. So exciting stuff for the Broncos.
So, Haley, still a couple topics here. We started with the Eagles to open the show. I was just telling Alex that, to me, I think part of the Eagles' problem at this point is, do they really want it bad enough? Is this a team that, because, how many times have you heard, you and I have been in numerous press conferences where coaches talk about effort, right? Sometimes all it is about desire and effort. And I'm almost getting to the point, Haley, where I'm like, does this team really want it bad enough? Because, sometimes you have teams like, I have seen the Jets and the Dolphins and the Saints, who are horrible football teams, stay in games with bad talent. So how much do you think the Philadelphia Eagles' problem is desire and effort?
I think it's a lot. I think it's definitely in their head. And I know that we shift the blame to Kevin Patullo a lot. And I am a big Patullo hater, as we all know on the show. However, at the end of the day, I feel like I'm not seeing that effort from Jalen Hurts. And I'm not just talking on the field itself. I'm talking about being vocal and really trying to motivate the team. And this team just seems very disconnected and uninterested. And as fans of the Philadelphia Eagles, we are so passionate, and I feel like we have more effort into watching the game than they do after playing. And I know that sounds crazy, but that is my theory, that the fan base has more passion and effort than the Philadelphia Eagles team themselves. But I'm not talking necessarily the defense. I'm actually going to take that back. The defense plays with effort, and it's more focused towards the offense.
All right, so with that being said, so as a fan and as a media person, you can switch it back and forth, both hats. Did watching Hard Knocks, did hearing Sirianni and BG talk and Jalen Hurts dropping F-bombs on the sideline, did any of that influence you at all, or did you just kind of shrug your shoulders and be like, that's reality television?
Yeah, no, I didn't feel any type of way about it. I honestly didn't even care what they had to say at that point. I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to make me feel better about this Eagles team than their results on the field. And I love what Hard Knocks does. I think it's such a cool concept. I just don't feel like that's going to change my perspective.
So, Haley, do you see the rest of this season? How do you see the rest of this year playing out? Because we were just talking about it where, the division's not locked up yet. As much as it seems it is, it's really not. Is there a world where you see it kind of ended up like 23 again?
Yeah, and I talked about 2023 a lot, Alex, and that I do feel like it's going to end like that. However, for the Philadelphia Eagles, I can't say I'm going to see them having a successful playoff run. So it is going to be a first-round exit, and it's going to most likely be on home field, which, of course, I'll be in attendance and have my heart broken, but that's, besides the point. I just don't see this team turning things around. In 2023, they really began to decline week 13, but this Philadelphia Eagles team seemed to do that prior to week 13. So we're kind of on track for even a worse outcome, if that could even be possible.
Talking with Haley Taylor-Simon. She's on her way to call the Rider versus Yale women's college basketball game on ESPN Plus, and of course she is a part of the crew here and hanging with Hennig each week on 97.3 ESPN. Haley, you just mentioned the fact that you and I are a part of the we do not like Kevin Patullo Brigade, although we did not participate in the egging of his house last week. So that's crossing the line, obviously. But I think part of the problem is, Haley, is that, kind of goes back to what, I don't know if you heard what Nick Foles said on his season's podcast, but he said that he thinks part of the problem is they need to bring in a guy like Frank Reich. And he said that Nick Sirianni runs Frank Reich's offense. So do you think that bringing in a guy like Frank Reich would satisfy and fix the situation, or do you think that's just putting a Band-Aid on a gash?
That's a good question, and I did hear what Nick said, and I find it to be kind of like putting a Band-Aid on the gash, as you use that analogy, but at the same time, it would be the step in the right direction. I feel like with Kevin Patullo, he's kind of ran his course, and at this point, there's nothing more that he can do, and having a guy like a Frank Reich come in and be able to actually run an efficient offense would be something that this team desperately needs. But it is also a Nick Sirianni as head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles to step up and to make the calls. I am so sick of him always defending his coordinators when they cannot be defended. It's infuriating. You're the head coach. You see that the offense is falling apart. Step up and do your job.
Haley also covers the Philadelphia Flyers on the beat each and every game. She's at all the home games. And Haley, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk with you about some Flyers hockey, because this team has won 7 of the last 10 games. And I kind of put, for those who don't know, I try to write up a show rundown sheet. So I have a question I put on there. I'm going to throw your way, and Alex can either, tell me if I'm right or wrong. But, do you think that Trevor Zegras is the best Flyers offseason acquisition in 20 years?
In 20 years? Oh, boy.
Because in 2007, they got Scott Hartnell and Danny Briere.
Yeah, I know. That's like, is it fair for me to say it's too soon to tell? And I only say that because when we evaluate players of the past, we have, seasons of them, right? We have that documented. We haven't seen a full season of Trevor Zegras yet. So within these first 20-something games, okay, he is up there, but I can't say for sure just because he hasn't completed a full season here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat on that. I'm thinking maybe Pronger.
Pronger's before those guys, though.
Well, you said 20 years. Pronger was it 20 years ago?
I think he was 2000.
Because he was a part of the 2010 run.
True. I have to look up exactly when they acquired him. I was thinking more so like forwards, just because of the fact that Zegras is tied for the team leading goals. And
no, he's definitely on track for that. And I think it's mainly because just we haven't had that much success. Like, since that 2010 run, that's the farthest we've gone. We haven't hoisted anything. So anyone who's come in hasn't really done as much. Neither has Zegras. So far, we don't know where that's going to lead us. But I want to ask about this Tyson Forster situation. He was leading the team in goals scored. The Flyers were already in the bottom half of the league in goals per game. Now, Buffalo, they beat up on them, put up 5 goals in that game. But going forward for the next 2 to 3 months that Forster's out for, where are they going to get that goal-scoring production from?
Well, you should see it from Owen Tippett with the money that this team is paying him. But the reality is you're going to probably see guys like a Travis Konechny try to step up a little bit more. He's been doing good. So, again, all positive. Michkov, I would like to see a little bit more. But the reality is that we have a lot of players on the Philadelphia Flyers that I feel like haven't been excelling and exceeding expectations. And for a guy like Bobby Brink, right, I don't think any of us had this high of an expectation on him, but this is the time where if he wants to step up, he is proving his worth. So with Forster being out, you need to see those type of players step up a little bit more, and if not, then again, it's going to show how big of an impact Tyson has made on this team.
Haley, if this team gets to a certain tier, because right now if the season ended, they would be the number 1 wild card spot. If they stay in that playoff range, right, do you anticipate Danny Briere making the kind of moves to put this team in the playoffs a year earlier than expected, or do you think they're going to continue on the, hey, we're not going to win it potentially this year, we're still planning for next year?
Yeah, no, playing for next year. I have been around Danny quite a lot in recent years, and he's been very honest and vocal to the media about his plan with the rebuild. And right now, I just want to remind all folks that are listening that while, yes, the Flyers do have that first wildcard spot at the moment, they're ranked 9th overall in the NHL. It's the Metropolitan that has been really playing some great hockey. And the Flyers are 4th in the Metro, which is so insane when you think about that. So I don't think, with how the Metropolitan is playing out, that Danny would risk the rebuild just to have a first-round exit. Or, you know what, I could be wrong. And, again, I won't be upset about being wrong. But I just don't see a world where the Flyers end up doing better than some of the other teams that are exceeding right now, like the Canes, the Caps, and even the Penguins.
I'm just trying to decipher because, I don't think Tockett's the kind of guy who came here to just, go through a rebuild, endlessly. And I feel like Tocchet, the way he talks about this team in interviews, and correct me if I'm wrong because you're covering the team every day, but when I see the interviews, I feel like Tockett's the kind of guy that kind of looks at this as, hey, if we're going to keep winning, let's keep winning. And, I don't want to say, the organization's long-term plans be damned, but, I just wonder how that conversation goes. Let's say it's like January 28th, right? And the Flyers are still in the same spot they're in now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think like any head coach, they're going to obviously have that mentality of let's keep winning and let's keep pushing. But I want to remind everybody that this rebuild, it's not going to be endless. And I know it's the typical Flyers thing for 2 to 3 years, but this is going to come to a conclusion, and it's going to be this offseason. And Tocchet knows that. Danny and Keith have been super transparent about their plans, and that was something that John Tortorella couldn't get on board with, hence why he is no longer here. So Tocchet does know, and would you rather the team get better players, whether it's a trade or free agency, in the offseason or by the trade deadline, or would you rather them have a first-round exit and not get those said players? It's something that you have to put kind of on a pedestal, right? And if I were a fan, I would want this team to go to the playoffs because I feel like we have been deprived of Flyers playoff hockey in Philadelphia for quite a while. But looking at this from my perspective as unbiased, I think that you want to get the better players and do this the right way. You came so far in this rebuild, you don't want to mess it up now.
She's Haley Taylor Simon. Of course, she is on assignment today on her way to call Ryder versus Yale on ESPN+, and she is with us each and every week on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Haley, we appreciate you jumping on the phone as you make your way to the game. Enjoy the game. Have fun. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. Talk to you guys soon.
Josh Hennig along with Alex Berardis back here in the 97.3 ESPN studios on 97.3 ESPN FM, streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio. Don't forget about my friends over at Prevail Nutrition. Tired of cooking and planning out your meals each day? Well, you need Prevail Nutrition to simplify your life. For almost a decade, Prevail Nutrition is a local meal prep company located in South Jersey that allows customers to design your own meal plan, or you can choose from a wide variety of chef-designed meals from their weekly changing Prevail Selects menu. You can order online for pickup or get free delivery on orders of $50 or more. Prevail Nutrition delivers to Atlantic and Cumberland counties along with Ocean City. Or you can pick up your meals every Monday and Friday at their location in Absecon. For more information, learn more about how Prevail Nutrition can simplify your life. Visit their website at prevailnutrition.club. Be like me. My go-to choice for prep meals is Prevail Nutrition, and so you should do the same. Be like me and order online at prevailnutrition.club. We'll get more back into the Flyers. I know Alex has more to say about the Flyers here on 97.3 ESPN. Don't forget, Flyers hockey tomorrow at 1 o'clock. You will hear that game on our sister station, Rock 104.1, and the Rock 104.1 mobile app.
It's Flyers Avalanche tomorrow afternoon on Rock 104.1 and the Rock 104.1 mobile app. Listen as Tim Saunders and Todd Fedork bring you all the exciting play-by-play action.
Oh, a save again by Vladar. This guy is unconscious.
It's Philadelphia Flyers hockey tomorrow afternoon. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. on South Jersey's classic rock station, Rock 104.1 and the Rock 104.1 mobile app.
Backhand shot. He scores!
Get ready to level up your game day at Tropicana Atlantic City. Introducing Gridiron Pit, powered by Caesars Sportsbook, a high-energy fan zone where blackjack meets big screens, bold bites, and big wins. Play your hand, catch every snap, indulge in tailgate-inspired food and drinks, and spin the big wheel of prizes. Every Saturday and Sunday throughout football season, Gridiron Pit, where the thrill of the game meets the rush of the table. Located near the cashier cage, learn more at Caesars.com. Must be 21 or older. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Tired of cooking and planning all of your meals each and every day? You need Prevail Nutrition to simplify your life. For almost a decade, Prevail Nutrition is a local meal prep company located in South Jersey that allows customers to design their own meal plan. Or you can choose from a wide variety of chef-designed meals on their weekly changing Prevail Selects menu. You can order online for pickup or get free delivery on orders of over $50. Prevail Nutrition delivers to Atlantic and Cumberland counties along with Ocean City. Or you can pick up your meals every Monday and Friday. Learn more about how Prevail Nutrition can simplify your life. Visit their website at prevailnutrition.club. Check out Prevail Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram. Prevail Nutrition is my go-to choice for prepared meals and foods. Order online, like me, at prevailnutrition.club.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-923-6829 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-923-6829. That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
You've been waiting to try learning a new language with Babbel. Now is the time. For just a few more days, you can unlock all of the languages on Babbel with a lifetime subscription at our largest discount of the year. Where will Babbel take you? Find out at Babbel.com. Y una cosa más. This is your last chance because our biggest sale of the year ends on December 7th. For just a few more days, you can get Babbel's lifetime access for less at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, a new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
The countdown is on because diamonds are lighting up the holidays at Robert's Fine Jewelers. December 11th through the 14th only.
4 days to save big on diamond studs, diamond necklaces, diamond tennis bracelets, diamond rings, gemstone jewelry, and so much more. If it sparkles, it's on sale. This is the holiday event you've been waiting for to finish checking off those wish lists. Make this the biggest holiday ever at Robert's Fine Jewelers at the Plaza at Center Point in Northfield, December 11th through the 14th. Robert's Fine Jewelers, where your holiday sparkles. Online at robertsfinejewelers.com.
You're hanging with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Hey, you know what? There's another name you might know me by. Star-Lord.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
Who? Star-Lord, man. Legendary outlaw.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Back here on Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Before we get back to text board at 609-403-0973, I want to tell you about one of my sponsors, Work of Art Construction. Give them a call at 609-788-4271. Art Masters, 40 years of construction experience. They can make your home look like a work of art. Ready to remodel your bathroom or have a kitchen makeover? Maybe you want to invest in a new front door or back deck. Art Master can take care of all of your needs around your home. 609-788-4271. Tell them you heard about them on 97.3 ESPN, and you'll get 10% off your next home project. Let Art Masker beautify your home. 609-788-4271. And tell them you heard about them on 97.3 ESPN for 10% off your next job. Make your home look like a work of art with Work of Art Construction. All right, Alex, we got to get to the I brought up this Zegers point, and I understand what Haley said. It's a little premature, but listen, this is sports talk. We like to have a little fun, okay? And so Paul from Millville chimed in. He understands the assignment. He says, come on, Josh, I'm forgetting about Wayne Simmons. He was a massive acquisition and stayed with the Flyers for 7 years. Now, I liked Wayne Simmons, really good player, but he was not like an elite scorer. He was a guy who went to the front of the net and banged and like punched in goals, and like he would basically 100 miles an hour and just go at the goaltender. Like he was not like an elite stick handler and speedster like Zegras was. I think part of the reason why people love Wayne Simmons because he would fight. People like Billy Schwein, they love guys like that. It's like he can score and he can fight.
Yeah, he's like a prototypical Broad Street bully, Philadelphia Flyer. Zegras is more of a game breaker. He's the guy who can take over the game, stick handling, passing, shooting. Like his one-time shots are ridiculous, especially on the power play. Like he can kind of do it all on offense. Now, I do want to go back to the point that you asked Haley, where if the Flyers are in the same position come late January, trade deadline time, what does Danny Briere do? To me, I think he goes in a little bit. Mainly because the whole plan of this rebuild was this upcoming offseason was the offseason that they were going to start buying and being a major player. Problem is, like I brought up last week here, a lot of those top guys, they've signed their tickets early this offseason. GMs were pulling a little bit of a Howie Roseman, signing their guys early to make sure their ticket doesn't go up and nobody's going to poach them. Top guy going as of right now is Cale Makar. He's going to get signed. I would put all the money I have in the world that Cale Makar is getting signed in Colorado. He is not leaving. He is Colorado for life.
Yeah, they're not letting him leave.
So, if you want to make this rebuild go faster and you want to go all in, other than the draft and free agency, there's only one other way that you can acquire talent. The trade deadline.
Right.
Or just trades in general.
Right.
Now, the trade target I was talking about last week, Quinn Hughes. I'm going to beat this drum until there's either a trade that happens or he signs his deal.
I started seeing people talk about him trading more this past week, I feel like.
The rumblings have been getting louder. And with the connections that he's had with Tocchet, him and Zegras are really close buddies. Zegras is just, I think it even helps that Zegras is new to Philly because he can say, yo, Quinn, this place is legit. Like, I'm new here. They taking me in like family. This place is rocking when we're playing good. Like, I think this is the spot for you. And I've been like coming up with trade scenarios in my head, what realistically we could give up and what would is an overpay, what's good amount. Because to me, there's a few untouchables on this team. Matvei Michkov, Porter Martone, Jamie Drysdale, Trevor Zegras. Ziegler is maybe a little bit more expendable in Drysdale as well, depending on who the player we're getting. But I think a solid trade package for a guy like Quinn Hughes could be like a Cam York, Owen Tippett, and either like a first or a prospect, like a Jet Luchenko. Or you could throw in Konechny instead of Tippett, depending on who they like more. But I feel like the money matches up with Tippett getting that long-term 8-year deal.
Sure.
Because the money's going to have to work in a big trade like that.
I mean, I don't have all the numbers in front of me right now, but I wouldn't mind trading Drysdale if I got Hughes. You know what I mean? If you're telling me that I'm getting Quinn Hughes, to me that's a major upgrade over Drysdale. So,
well, yeah, because Drysdale, he's a solid defenseman in this league. Quinn Hughes is a number one.
Right. And so to me, like if Vancouver says we're not making the deal unless we get Drysdale, I'm not going to balk at that. I'm with you. I'm not trading Mishkov. I'm not trading Zegras. I'm reluctant to trade Tippett because I think he is the kind of guy who makes a lot of sense on a playoff team. A guy who could be like a number 2 winger on a line, like a number 2 line. I'm dumb. I don't hate Luchenko, but I talked about this with our Flyers insider from 97.3 ESPN.com, Kevin Durst, in the past. Like Luchenko feels like in part he's here because you just don't have a lot of centerman depth. So he's just like another body who can play the position, you know what I mean? Like, I never looked at him as a guy who I'm excited that Luchenko is here, At least for me. I mean, maybe I'm wrong in how I view him. So, if you told me the trade package was, I don't know, Luchenko, Drysdale, Konechny, and a first-round pick for Quinn Hughes in some random minor leaguer, I'm not saying no.
Look, obviously, you have to give up to get something.
Right.
You can. It would just be hard for me to go with Drysdale, mainly because, if that's your 1-2, that's up there.
Oh, I hear you, but
you have to give up something to get
that. And also, my problem is I don't know what Cam York's value is around the NHL. Like, do other teams view him the way the Flyers viewed him when they first got him? Like, do other teams say, hey, he's not reaching his potential in Philadelphia, we can get more out of him? Because that's always the problem in sports. Like, we have this argument all the time about Phillies with their prospects, right? And their young players. Like, we might say, hey, this is our top 10 prospects, right? And the Flyers do the same thing. Here are our top 10 prospects. Well, there's a lot of times that the team and the organization and us fans might value a player more than another team does. So my problem with a guy like Cam York is kind of the same thing when it came to when the Phillies were all the conversations about, like, who should they trade? Who should they not trade? Well, in Philadelphia, there's a reason why nobody wanted to not ask about Andrew Painter. No one was calling the Phillies and being like, let's talk about Griff McGarry. You know what I mean? So to me, I just wonder about that Cam York. Like, I don't know, is he a guy who's viewed around the league as a guy who still has a high ceiling? Or do they say, you know what? The Flyers have gotten all they can out of him.
I see that point. I get that point. And I don't know if I can go against that point. I do think
I made too good of an argument there, is what you're saying.
Well, I'm not arguing that. York, you see some flashes where you're like, wow, great play, great defenseman. Other plays, you're like, what are you doing, man? And I feel like the Flyers have too many of those kind of guys.
Well, for example, and do you feel like with York, is it more mental or physical? Because I feel like sometimes he just doesn't have awareness at times. Sometimes he'll be on the back line and I'll be like, wow, that's a great play he made to slide over and get the puck across the ice. And other times on defense, I'm like, dude, where are you going?
Yeah, no, I think it's more mental. Because, I see it more on the offensive side, I feel like he turns the puck over a lot. I kind of get, Morgan Frost I had the biggest just gripe with. You would watch Morgan Frost and be like, wow, that was one of the greatest plays I've seen. Then you see 2 minutes later, this guy's doing a spinorama in center ice, turning the puck over for a 2-on-1 the other way. And it's like, what are you doing, dude? But I want to go back to your Jet Luchenko point because I don't know if I have disdain for Luchenko because I want him to pan out. I really do. I just don't see him being more than a 3, possibly 2C on this team in the NHL, honestly. And for me, it just hurts seeing the guys that were drafted after him, to me, especially that we did the trade swap, moved 1 pick back with the Minnesota Wild for Zeev Boyum. And then later in the draft, like 10 picks later, I think it was, let me see, we were 7 picks back, the Islanders go with Cole Eiserman. There's just guys there that I think, now he's not a center, which I get, but I don't know. There's just so much better talent to me that was sitting there. And yeah, you bring up the center point because it looks right now that they're just not even going to try Zegras at center. I think his face-off is just that bad. Even though, like, we heard the offseason or the training camp reports where him and Couturier were working, he was asking Couturier a bunch of questions on the face-off dot. But it just seems like he's a winger.
Some guys just don't have it.
But I'm fine with him being a winger because of how he's been playing.
Exactly.
If they put him at wing and he was just kind of going through the motions, not lighting it up, like when he touches the puck, you know that Trevor Zegras has the puck. So I'm fine with him staying on the wing. But the Flyers' 2 biggest questions have been for years, center and a number 1 defenseman. And if you go get a guy like Quinn Hughes, to wrap it back to my point, you get one of those checked off the box.
Absolutely. He's Alex Berardis. I'm Josh Hennig, hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Coming up in the next hour, we'll get back to the football conversation with the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, Andy McNamara will join us coming up at 1:25 p.m. And Rob Meyer will join us in the 2 o'clock hour at 2:20. Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN, as always being brought to you by Tropicana Atlantic City, the Gridiron Pit, the ultimate watch and wager experience, powered by Caesars Sportsbook, high energy fan zone, where blackjack meets big screens, bold bites, and big wins. Play your hand, catch every snap, and indulge in tailgate-inspired food and drinks, and spin the big wheel of prizes every Saturday and Sunday throughout the football season. Must be 21 or older to play. No one to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, and we will be back there for a huge football weekend, December 27th. Along with Alex Berardis, Josh Hennig hanging out with you in the Dr. Squatch Virtual Studios, streaming live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig at 973 ESPN. All that and more to come, as well as what is the biggest concern for the Eagles heading into Monday Night Football? That's next.
Hey, South Jersey, this is Billy Schwein. Tune into The Locker Room every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon on 97.3 ESPN. Each weekend in The Locker Room, you will get passionate sports talk from a fan's perspective, along with interviews with some of the biggest names in sports. That's every Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to noon in The Locker Room with me, Billy Schwein, on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner.
During the holiday season, we may feel all stressed up with nowhere to go. Here's a few ways to relieve the pressure. Try to squeeze in a 10-minute power nap, which is surprisingly refreshing. When you're feeling uptight, take several deep breaths and let them out slowly as you massage your forehead, neck, and eyes. Stretch your entire body for at least 5 minutes each day to relax tense muscles. Sing. That's right, sing. In the car, in the shower, wherever. Preferably a holiday song. Singing loudly demands deep breathing, which can help you relax, not to mention how great it makes you feel. And last but certainly not least, make physical activity a part of your life. You'd be surprised how you can walk, cycle, or jog away your frustrations. I'm Robin Stoloff for Health Update.
It's ACUA's 35th Holiday Food Drive. Leave a clearly marked bag of canned goods by your recycling can on Collection Day during the first 2 weeks of December, and the ACUA will deliver it to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Visit acua.com/food drive for details.
Go for holiday bliss. Whether naughty or nice, you are not going to want to miss this. Go for nights that shine. With friends, a toast so fine. Go to find Santa's place. Go to see that smiling face. Go to give the gift of cheer. With the card that brings dreams near. With endless fun and things to do, it is the gift that keeps on giving too. Go for the dazzling lights. It's quite a sight. Go to Ocean Casino Resort for holiday magic of every sort.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
The countdown is on because diamonds are lighting up the holidays at Robert's Fine Jewelers. December 11th through the 14th only. 4 days to save big on diamond studs, diamond necklaces, diamond tennis bracelets, diamond rings, gemstone jewelry, and so much more. If it sparkles, it's on sale. This is the holiday event you've been waiting for to finish checking off those wish lists. Make this the biggest holiday ever at Robert's Fine Jewelers at the Plaza at Center Point in Northfield. December 11th through the 14th. Robert's Fine Jewelers, where your holiday sparkles. Online at robertsfinejewelers.com.
South Jersey's official play-by-play home of the Eagles, Sixers, and Flyers.
At 0 point would I ever consider not being a fan of the team.
97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Finally! This is Hanging with Hennig.
I have friends everywhere.
On 97.3 ESPN Radio, South Jersey.
In New Jersey. Am I right? Yeah.
Live feed on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
It seems to run on some form of electricity. Well, you're not wrong.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together.
Now, here's your host.
He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Josh Hennig.
Hour 2 of Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Along with Alex Berardis, we're live in the Dr. Squatch virtual studios on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig. And don't forget, Hanging with Hennig being brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook, the only sportsbook app offering you Caesars rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks on every game, like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using my promo code Radio20X. Place your first bet of $1 or more for a chance to double your winnings on your next 20 bets. Open to new users in New Jersey are 21 or older. Max bet at $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings, $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promo for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER, because we do not need more people with addictions out there. Alex Berardis joining me here on 97.3 ESPN. By the way, we are tracking the college football games. Is that a catcher? It looks like Texas trying to. That's out. He's out. That knee goes out. Look.
Yeah, but that's a catch.
Whoa.
That's a catch. That's a touchdown. They marked him at the 1, I believe. See, Penn State guy, I'm rooting so hard for Texas Tech right now against BYU.
So the whole world is actually rooting for BYU for this reason. Most of the college football world wants chaos. Because if BYU gets in, Texas Tech is also already in the college football playoff. True. So now you would have 2 Big 12 teams, 2 SEC teams, 2 Big 10 teams.
See you, Notre Dame.
Well, that's the question. Who gets bumped? Because if Duke wins tonight, there could be no ACC team at all, right? There's a scenario where that happens. Virginia has to win the ACC championship.
What are your thoughts on the committee? Because I was listening to Desmond Howard talk yesterday. He was on First Take, and I was listening to First Take. He made a good point. He said, everyone thought the problems were going to get fixed when they went from 4 teams to 12 teams. But we still have the exact same problem.
Exactly.
It's not, yeah, cool. There's a lot more teams. Yep, they just called it a touchdown on the field. Yeah, the problem is still the same problem. It's not, yeah, cool. There's a lot more teams in. Teams were getting screwed out. Yeah, no doubt. But the selection process is the exact same. So now, instead of being that 5th, 6th, or 7th team that didn't make the cut, it's the same thing for now that 13, 14, 15 seed team, right? Like, what are your thoughts on the committee and how they do everything when they select the team?
I hate the committee.
All right.
I mean, it's so your boy, and I'm not trying to steal the idea from him, but your boy Mikey V we had on last month. He brought up a point when he was talking with Ingram on the pod one time I saw, because I follow Mikey V now. I see his clips on. And he brought up a point a little while ago where he said, they keep changing the rule. They keep changing what puts you in, what doesn't put you in. For half the year, it was, well, we value good losses. Well, then as the year progressed, they were like, no. How good is your wins? No. Well, who did you beat? Well, no. What is your strength of schedule? Well, no. What is your win-loss percentage of all your opponents combined? And it's like, we have so many, like, tiebreaker scenarios and so many, like, how about we just tell me who the best team in football is? Is that so hard? Like, why do I need you to tell me, like, for example, JMU.
I was going to bring up JMU because I have a buddy who plays, my boy Steven Hollander. Wanted to give a shout out to them winning the Sun Belt yesterday.
Did not know that. I was going to go that way anyway, so good for them. Congratulations, JMU. So I think JMU should be in the playoff. If you're going to put a group of 5 team, because if you're going by the committee's criteria for the first 2 months of the year, they have a good loss. They lost to a ranked Louisville team, right? Well, that Louisville team also beat who? Miami. Okay? So, just by proxy, JMU has a better resume than Tulane does. And by the way, Tulane was losing that game, was it 31-7 heading into like the late third quarter, and then they almost lost the game last night. So, I don't think Tulane is that good of a team. I think JMU is a better team than Tulane is. But the problem is that now, if BYU beats Texas Tech, the committee's got to make a decision. Are we trying to put the best teams in, or are we trying to put together a good TV product? That's the problem, because the right teams would be JMU. The TV product says Notre Dame and Miami.
Does the ACC title game, how that plays out, affect Miami?
Yes.
If Virginia wins, I think
if Virginia wins, actually helps Miami because of the fact that now you have a team that won the conference that looks at least legitimate.
Okay.
If Duke wins the conference, it's a bad look for the ACC.
Yeah, if you have Duke in the playoff,
Duke wouldn't be in the playoff. They would have to make a decision. Do you just put Virginia in because they made the championship game?
No, if Duke wins the ACC, they're in. Oh, wait, no.
They're 8-5.
Yeah, no, because they're not one of the top 4. That's the tough part when it comes to the conference winners, because there has to be some sort of incentive to win your conference.
And that's another problem. There is no incentive to win. The original plan, I always go back to this, the original plan was win your conference, you get in the playoff. That was the original idea. But the problem is that they changed the rules. Because, first of all, the conferences have this bizarro world, and I know Mike Gill was arguing with me this week, and I know the rule is correct, and I don't care if the rule is correct. It's still a dumb rule. The fact that Duke is in the conference championship game, because there's too many teams in the ACC, so not everyone is even scheduled. There's an uneven schedule in the ACC and the Big Ten. Like you and I talked about this off the air, about who Indiana's played, who Ohio State has played. Because of the uneven nature of these teams' conference schedules, now you're gauging who should play for the conference championship, not based on who the best team is, but on the strength of schedule of the teams you played in your conference. Like, this is the problem. There's too many teams in each conference now. There's no legitimate balance. There's no divisions anymore. There's no clear-cut answer for a tiebreaker system. Like, for example, if I was to have a tournament, maybe this is the real problem we need to have. Maybe we need to have a qualifier for the college football playoff, right? If you had a tournament and you put Virginia, Duke, Miami, and what was that team that finished 6-2? Was it SMU, I think it was? There are 5 teams that finished 6-2 in the conference. So let's say you did a round robin and you put Miami, Duke, Virginia, SMU, and Pitt in like this stupid round robin. Who do you think is coming out of that round robin? Do you think it's Duke? No. Nobody thinks it's Duke. And that's the problem. The problem is that you have an entire system that is built on a flawed concept because people care more about money than they do with the best team. So, to me, The ACC championship game is the biggest farce tonight of all the conference championship games.
I'm looking at the text board here, and Paul from Millville again. I'm curious what you're going to say. What you're going to say here. I believe that the committee needs to be abolished. Put the first and second place team in each conference. Make it so you have a conference champion and the loser of their conference championship. Having a group of people decide is asinine. I'd rather the computer spit out the two best teams and they play like they did in the old BCS system.
The BCS system was a lot of BS, though. So I will put that out there. Listen, I don't mind abolishing the committee. What I would rather do, Paul from Millville, is instead of having a committee that like comes out every with a ranking, have a committee that meets only at the end of the year. How about this? How about we like bridge the gap here? Because I'm anti-committee as well, but I do think there is a value because there needs to be a human who says it doesn't matter that Duke had a stronger strength of win percentage in the conference. It's conference opponents win-loss percentage. A computer might say Duke deserves to be in the ACC championship game. I think we need a human to say, no, I've watched Duke. They're not that good. They lost to Illinois. Okay? That's where I think if you had a committee who helped make sure the conference championships have the right teams in them. Because, for example, let me ask you a question, Alex. Do you think a 3-loss team or a 4-loss team should be in the college football playoff?
It's easy to say no, but I am a proponent of how the loss happened and who the loss happened to. Like in Alabama's case,
that's where I was going with this. Yeah.
I don't know. To me tonight, if they lose, I don't think they're in because of that Florida State loss that they had early on in the year.
See, I'm almost wondering, should Alabama even be in their conference championship game?
Well, that's all different conference to conference on how they decide.
But maybe that's what we need. Maybe we need a committee not for the playoff, but to make sure the teams that get in the conference championship are correct.
Well, they've made improvements because last year you had Boise State and Arizona State getting a first-round bye, right? Like, I can at least give the committee kudos, I guess, on the system. Like, there is no reason that those teams should have gotten byes. I do like BYU fake punt, didn't convert. And that's why we don't want you, your head coach.
Oh, stop. Relax. If he would have converted it, you would have been like, just, go away.
May have a point. But it's just like, I don't know how, I don't know if there's a correct answer in this, though, and how you decide these 12 teams. Is it eye test? Is it like whoever just looks the best? Like in the NFL, like I'm looking at the rankings here. Jaguars 8-4, Colts 8-4. Two very completely different 8-4s, I feel like. Correct? Like
100%.
Like just because going back to the computer point, like a computer is not going to say like to a computer, 2 8-4 teams probably rank out the same. But when it comes to the eye test, you can tell one team has clearly played better football in that 8-4 stretch than the other team has. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah. But when it comes to a team like Alabama, I do think there's some losses that they've had, like the Florida State one, that the committee is going to think about and just hold that against them if they lose tonight to Georgia, which I predict they will.
See, and this goes back to my original point. I don't think Alabama should be in the conference championship because there were 4 teams that all finished. Was it 1, 2, 3? Yeah, 4 teams with a 7-1 record in the SEC. Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M. You can make an argument that the second best team of those teams is Ole Miss. The problem is Ole Miss's coach left.
Well, that goes back to the Jordan Travis debacle of a few years ago with Florida State. I was in the boat that you're a completely different team without your starting quarterback. You're not the 4th best team in the country anymore. I'm sorry. and then they got smoked in that ACC title game. I forget who they were playing, but it was a completely different team without Jordan Travis. Now, in Lane Kiffin's situation, exact same thing. I do think Ole Miss still gets into the playoffs, but they shouldn't be as high as a seed as they would have been if they had Lane Kiffin coaching them.
Yes and no. The problem with all this stuff is that, first of all, the fact that these coaches can leave when they do for jobs is dumb as anything. Like, we need to change the calendar, first of all. We need to change the calendar to National Signing Days in January, not December, number one. Number two, no recruiting in December. Make it a dead period. Let the teams and their coaches finish their seasons.
I think the portal has to open up later because
they're trying to change it to be in January only.
Because last year, not saying any different scenario would have happened, but Penn State was a casualty of the portal open up early with Bo Prabula, their backup quarterback, leaving. Now, I say backup quarterback. If you didn't watch Penn State last year, you might think, who cares, backup quarterback? But Prabula was an asset in the ground game. He had incredible legs. There were designed plays that Bo Prabula would come in, 2 quarterback sets. Sometimes he was just the lone quarterback out there just doing design quarterback runs. They were plays set up maybe like upwards to like 4 times per game that you would see him on the field.
Sure.
He leaves for the playoffs. That's a whole part of your offense there that's not there anymore. Obviously, other teams have had it worse than Penn State did last year, but I'm just speaking from my own personal experience.
But to Paul from Millville's previous point, this is why the committee thing is so frustrating. It's because you have people who are making subjective opinions and then trying to bring objectivity and mix it in like a strange soup. You know what I mean? It's like a really weird meal that you're being offered, and you're like, oh, well, I thought this would taste good with this. And you're like, but it doesn't. But I thought it would taste good. And it's like, no, it doesn't. It really doesn't taste good. So I don't know exactly what the reasoning for some of this stuff is, but I do know that, sometimes when this happens, it's very bizarre. So I would say that if, like, for example, if we didn't have a bunch of uptight old people running the committee, and we had someone like maybe like me and Alex running the committee, which I guarantee we could do it for less money than they do.
And have a better product.
Exactly. So let's look at the rankings right now. Like what the rankings were coming in for the college football playoff, all right? And we're going to tell you who should be in, Paul from Millville, and you let us know if having a committee is still a bad idea, okay?
I do think, though, this season in college football, there's a lot of I feel like it's the same in the NFL, too. A lot of mediocrity. You look at the Heisman race.
Yeah.
There's no clear. I personally would go Jeremiah Love because I think what he's doing at Notre Dame.
I would like that.
Genty should have won it last year. He's putting up a similar season to Ashton Genty. I think he would get it, but it's probably going to go
DeSayin or
Mendoza. Sayin. But
yawn.
Ohio State's the number 1 team in AP polls, college football playoff polls, and I think that's no doubt they should be. But we were talking about it in the break. You look at Ohio State's wins this year. They had Texas week 1, and that was kind of a 14-7 game, kind of a dud game. But week 1's week 1. You kind of get a pass for a week 1 game. But other than that, I don't really know what their next staple big win was.
I mean, I guess it would be at Michigan last week. Would that be it?
But Michigan, look, if you take the whole Michigan-Ohio State rivalry out of the picture, Ohio State should win that game, especially the past 4 years. Last year.
Well, that's why the rivalry game.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you just put blank jerseys on, put these guys on the field, Ohio State should win that game.
All right, really quick, because we got to go to break here. But I will say that the Washington win was a bit impressive at the time. So I will give them credit for that. All right, here are the 12 teams I think should be in the playoff. Because I got somebody texting me saying, JMU, I'm like, it's not about JMU should be in the playoff. It's about if you go based on what the committee is saying. Now, let's take away the committee. Me and Alex, we're going to agree right now. Ready? Ohio State should be in, yes or no?
Yes.
Indiana, yes or no?
Yes.
Georgia, right?
Yes.
Texas Tech?
Yes.
Oregon?
Yes.
Ole Miss?
Yes.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah.
Oklahoma?
Skip the team there, I think.
I did on purpose.
Oh.
Oklahoma?
This is where it gets into that iffy range, but I'll give them the nod.
Texas A&M is interesting, but they probably should be in.
I think they should. They had a tough loss.
Okay, that's 8. So we're at 8 now. So we have 4 more spots. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Miami, yes or no?
No.
Okay. Notre Dame, yes or no?
I'm looking at like who. Now, are we basing this off of who should be or like
who should be? Who should be? Yeah,
like
we're making a decision right here, right now. You're on the clock, Alex.
No.
Okay, well, I still got to put 4 teams in. Alabama?
They win obviously if they win tonight, but if they lose tonight, depends how they lose. But yeah, I'll put them in.
Okay, now I'm down to 3 spots. BYU, if they win this game.
Well, if they win, yes.
If they lose?
No.
I still have 3 spots. See, here's the problem in this conversation. We now have to go to commercial break. I still have 3 spots open for the college football playoff, and you said no to 3 teams.
I'm putting in Diego Pavia in that Vanderbilt Commodores team.
Over BYU, Notre Dame, Miami, and Texas.
Who said no to Texas?
Well, they're behind Texas in the rankings.
I think Texas, like, they just...
I don't think Texas should be in.
I don't think Texas should be in either. That's what, like... I just think, like, with they haven't looked good, and their losses that they've had...
Oh, yeah, but you put Vanderbilt in. So who else are you putting in? Because you said no to Notre Dame, you said no to BYU, you said no to Miami. Utah, I don't think so. USC, I don't think so. Virginia, If they win tonight, maybe, I guess. Arizona, definitely not. Michigan, definitely not. Tulane, not good enough. Houston, not good enough. Georgia Tech, they screwed themselves. They don't belong in. Iowa, not good enough. North Texas, that's a joke. James Madison, they're 25th in the country. This is where the committee versus the computer is the problem. Because you and I can't agree. The computer can't agree. We can't agree with the committee. Nobody agrees. It's all subjective.
To counter Desmond Howard's, but I always thought the perfect number was 8. Because
it'd be a lot easier if it was 8.
Yeah, 8, but they want more money, so 12's the way they're going to go with it. But 8, I think, was the sweet spot number they should have went with.
He's Alex Berardis. I'm Josh Hennig, hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Of course, is being sponsored by yesterday's Creekside Tavern with a sound on for every Eagles game. Monday Night Football is the place to be. Call your friends and catch the Eagles game at the Y. Monday Night Football with all the game day specials they have over there. I am personally a fan of, they have these sliders at yesterday's that are like really, 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 really good. So I love getting those sliders over there yesterday. But hey, they got a whole great game day menu, game day specials every Eagles game day at yesterday's in Marmora. And don't forget about their reverse happy hour specials throughout the week, 9 p.m. to close, and all the college football games on every TV each weekend. The best sports bar in South Jersey, yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora. Andy McNamara joins us for more football talk coming up next on 97.3 ESPN.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles continue the 2025 season on Monday Night Football, heading to L.A. to face the Chargers.
You want to say crunch time? This is it.
Oh, yeah, this is crunch time.
Pre-game coverage starts at 7 p.m. with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 8:15. This is where the Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
Get ready to level up your game day at Tropicana Atlantic City. Introducing Gridiron Pit, powered by Caesars Sportsbook, a high-energy fan zone where blackjack meets big screens, bold bites, and big wins. Play your hand, catch every snap, indulge in tailgate-inspired food and drinks, and spin the big wheel of prizes. Every Saturday and Sunday throughout football season, Gridiron Pit, where the thrill of the game meets the rush of the table. Located near the cashier cage, learn more at Caesars.com. Must be 21 or older. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Making your home look brand new is what Work of Art Construction can do for you. Ready to remodel your bathroom or have a kitchen makeover? Art Masker has 40 years of experience in construction and knows how to make your home look like a work of art. Want to install a new back deck or invest in a new front door? Just call Art Masker at 609-788-4271 to learn more. Visit Work of Art Construction on Instagram to see how Work of Art Construction can make your home look brand new. Beautify your home with Work of Art. Call him at 609-788-4271 and let them make your home truly a work of art.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in New York, New Jersey. And our more than 280 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Right now at the Home Depot, shop Cyber Week savings and get up to 40% off, plus up to an extra $500 off select appliances like Samsung. Upgrade your kitchen with the Samsung Bespoke 4-door refrigerator, now featuring the dual auto ice maker with Sphere Ice, only at the Home Depot. You'll have perfectly chilled drinks for every gathering. Don't miss Cyber Week savings in-store and online at the Home Depot. Offer valid 12/4 through 12/10, U.S. only. See store online for details.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
Ring in 2026 at Nola's Bar and Lounge at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City. Make this New Year's an unforgettable night and enjoy a premium hosted bar and live music all night. Whether you're dancing the night away or toasting with friends, Nola's Bar and Lounge at Ocean Casino Resort is the place to celebrate the beginning of the new year. For tickets, visit theoceanac.com.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
It's time for Cyber Monday, Dell Technologies' biggest sale of the year. Enjoy the lowest prices of the year on select PCs like the Dell 16 Plus featuring Intel Core Ultra processors. And with built-in advanced features, it's the PC that helps you do more faster. Plus, earn Dell rewards and enjoy many other benefits like free shipping, price match guarantee, and expert support. They also have huge deals on accessories that pair perfectly with your Dell PC and make perfect gifts for everyone on your list. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-923-6829 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-923-6829. That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
For over 135 years, First Bank of Sea Isle City has proudly served Cape May County with a commitment to maintaining a hometown feel. We provide secure, convenient deposit and loan products every day. We're more than just a bank. We're a trusted community partner, offering personalized banking solutions that make life easier for local families of all ages. First Bank of Sea Isle City. Look for our lighthouse in your neighborhood and discover what makes us different.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You're hanging with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
I want my picks back, and I want David Putnam.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
All my picks back, and I want David Putnam just because I feel like it.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah, I am. Haven't I proved that already?
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN is always being brought to you by Tropicana Atlantic City and the Gridiron Pit, powered by Caesars Sportsbook, a high-energy fan zone where blackjack meets big screens, bold bites, and big wins. We'll be back there on December 27th for a live show of Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Huge football, NFL, and college football day that day at the Gridiron Pit, and you want to catch all the games, every snap, indulge in tailgate-inspired food and drinks, and spin the big wheel of prizes every Saturday, Sunday throughout the football season. The Gridiron Pit, where the throw of the game meets the rush of the table. Must be 21 or older. Know to stop before you start. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Of course, it's that time of day. Andy McNamara is back with us here on 97.3 ESPN. Josh Hennig, Alex Berardis, live in the Dr. Squatch virtual studios on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig. Andy, welcome back, my friend. How you doing?
Doing good, buddy. Doing good, gentlemen. Yeah, fantasy football heating up. You know, you think big college football day. Got my Ohio State hoodie this week. I can't wait for this one. Fernando Mendoza, my guy. You played the DraftKings reference. That's on my sticky note for the Browns. Fernando Mendoza, no matter what. Against that Buckeyes defense with Matt Patricia, this is a huge test. I think it's going to have major draft implications tonight.
I was saying before you came on that I think it's going to be a low-scoring game tonight.
Could be. The thing is, I hope it's high-scoring because that's more entertaining, but I could totally see both of these teams kind of being a little cautious, right? Especially early, right? Almost like a boxing match where you got these two heavyweights and they want to sort of jab around a little bit, feel each other out, see what's going on. But this is the best competition either of these teams, I think you could argue, Josh, has faced all year. Because it was supposed to be like Ohio State, Texas. Arch Manning sucked. And so really, then the Buckeyes hadn't played much since then.
You know, and I think it goes to Alex's point, because Alex said before you came on that, you know, Ohio State really hasn't beaten anyone this year, Andy. And I think that's kind of like where they beat Texas, they beat Michigan, and I'll throw in there they beat Washington. But aside from that, they do not have the resume. Indiana's got the better resume because they went to Oregon and took out Oregon. So, you know, to me, I think Alex has a point there where it's like, you know, maybe Ohio State, you know, they might be the number one team in the rankings, but are they really the best team in college football?
I do think they have the best talent on the field, though. I just have to see them. Like, if they go out tonight and they spank Indiana, it's like, all right, no doubt, you guys are number one.
Yeah, Alex, you don't consider the Grambling State victory?
No, that one wasn't on my radar. No.
My favorite for that, maybe like one of my top 5 coach media scrubs. Whoever the coaches for Grambling State, they're like, "How do you think you match up against Ohio State before the game?" And he said, "Well, I think our marching bands are pretty close." And that was, it's like, wow. And he was right. It was awful. But to your point, Alex, yes, this is a team. All the talent in the world. You have Matt Patricia with an NFL-style defense that has been ferocious. So there's so many layers to this, right? How does Julian Sand look about this? A Heisman conversation coming into it as well. But also for Fernando Mendoza, when you're playing as probably as close as you're going to get to an NFL defense before getting to the NFL, how do you look? And I'm just fascinated by the whole thing. I think it's going to be a fun one.
Well, I'm fascinated with the NFL this weekend, Andy, because, you know, tomorrow you have not one, not two, but 3 different NFL games that all have division implications on the line. And I will start with the one that's probably closest to your neighborhood because you are the host of the Sick Podcast covering the Browns each and every week. Steelers-Ravens. Talk about a matchup of 2 teams that have no clue what they're doing. They're 6-6. They're basically saying the Spider-Man meme, like, you stink. No, you stink kind of thing. You know, what do we even do with this game? I mean, this is a game where it's like, I don't even know who should win or could win. I mean, the Ravens get the better defense. The Steelers, I don't even know what their offense is. Lamar Jackson looks like that calf injury is bothering him more than people realize. Derrick Henry, like they run him for one half of the game and then he disappears for a quarter of the time. Like, what do we do with this game tomorrow?
Yeah, and let's not forget, big game for the Cincinnati Bengals, who technically are still in this thing at 4-8 with the two division leaders tied at 6-6. This is the biggest shot. This division was supposed to be, always lines up as one of the toughest. And what a dog, right? Like, absolutely terrible. So you're the Ravens at home. I'm looking 6-point favorites. I think I take the Steelers to cover that. I don't think they're going to win, but this is a division game. We talk low scoring. I think this is just going to be a dirty, weird, ground and pound defensive type of situation. Yeah, you're right. Nobody, Aaron Rodgers has a dozen broken little bones in his left wrist, and Lamar Jackson can't run all of a sudden, and it's very odd for both of these teams to be in this position at this time of year because we're so used to them being so good. I'm kind of hoping it's a tie. Really messing things up. Messing up.
Well, it actually, the best case scenario for the Bengals would be the Ravens to win. Because if the Ravens win, that means all three of those teams have 4 losses in the conference.
Oh, okay. All right. So you'd have to Bengals have to run the table. And the Steelers, the Steelers are looking in a much more kind of pathetic way what they usually are. And that ends up like 9-8, 500, a game above. Like, it just seems, I don't know. Mike Tomlin is giving.
Is he done?
I think he's got to go. Like, here's what's going to happen. I guarantee it. He will not be fired. He will not be fired. It will be like one of those mutual departures, and then he'll go somewhere else. But there's absolutely no way the Rooney family will fire Mike Tomlin. But I think they need a change of everything there. You don't got a quarterback. You're kind of just floating, right? It's just purgatory.
I don't know why anybody was surprised that they're in the position they're in now. I had no faith coming into the season that Aaron Rodgers was just going to turn into Green Bay Packers. Rodgers.
I'll tell you why. Because I'm not trying to kick you to the curb, but I do want to kind of contextualize this. Rodgers played well the final 4 games of last year with the Jets.
Right.
Number one. Number two, when you acquire a guy like DK Metcalf and Jalen Ramsey, those are super upgrades. Like, those are guys who are you're taking talent from it was maybe the Steelers wide receiver was a B-, and you're getting a potential A+ wide receiver. Andy, how many fantasy drafts did you see DK Metcalf going high in? So, Alex, I think that's what it was. It was not that people were like, oh, the Steelers are going to be amazing, but it was last year they won games with basically us 3 playing quarterback. And if Aaron Rodgers plays anywhere solid, which he has done in a couple games this year, then they should win games. And by the way, a lot of those losses this year, it ain't Aaron's fault that the defense stinks. They got the worst defense of any potential playoff team, I think.
Pass rush, very pedestrian.
Horrible.
It's something with the Ravens too. We're conditioned to think hard-nosed defense, Steelers and Ravens. That's just sort of second nature. You ask any general fan, oh yeah, great defense, because that's what you're used to. But it's not. There's next to no pass rush. It's the Ravens they don't pressure the quarterback nearly enough like they used to. And so, for Aaron Rodgers, I'm with you. It's not really his fault. And the Steelers coming in, like you said, you had Ramsey and DK Metcalf. That's the organization showing that team, we think you can do something this year, right?
Look, they got Ramsey as playing safety, though, now. Ramsey's not who he was. And DK Metcalf, he's a shit. They don't even, I'm an owner of him in one of my leagues. He's just not
That's
out
not
there.
DK's fault. That's not DK's fault. That is just poor game management and assignment in play.
They haven't had a good offensive play caller since...
When? Ben Roethlisberger played, I guess.
Bruce Arians?
Probably. Actually, probably.
I had to look up who their play callers were the last several years, but remember when they brought in Matt Canada?
Ugh. The worst.
That was so bad.
DK Metcalf is a stud. It's a level below the disappointment of Justin Jefferson in fantasy football. Of the talents. Why DK Metcalf's a heck of a player. Justin Jefferson, you just have garbage offensive either play calling or, in Minnesota's case, quarterback play.
Well, I want to shift a little bit here to the Eagles-Chargers game.
Big game.
Yeah, because I am an Marion Hampton owner, and he has not been in the game he's been out for a while. And I just want to figure out whether this is going to be a hardball game, especially with how bad the run defense looked against the Bears on Black Friday. Is this going to be, and also taking into consideration Justin Herbert just coming off surgery, is this going to be a Vidal kind of mix with Hampton, or is Hampton kind of going to run away with it? What's the look up for this game?
So here's the unfortunate part for fantasy football owners. This is Monday. So if you gamble, right, there's still a chance he doesn't play, or we get something on Monday where it's like, we'll put him in for a couple series. There's still a lot of time for information to go, where if you guess wrong, you're hosed, right? And that's the question. Also, even if it is, okay, he's definitely going to play. Well, what type of usage? Right? He's been out, and I invested heavily in Omarion Hampton this year. Like on 5 teams, Omarion Hampton. So he's been out since week 5. So what do we expect? And it's not like outside of a couple of games, he was just getting his groove, right? So you're going to mix him in a little bit, some committee, not. There's too many questions. I would advise strongly, I'm going to do this. If you have another choice, lean somewhere else. Like, this could be a Bam night day. Get yourself a little Bam with DeMarcado and Michael Wilson, on the wide receiver side. We're talking wideouts too for Arizona.
I think DeMarcado is injured, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I mean. DeMarcado's out. He's not. He's not playing. That's what I mean. Put Bam in. Give yourself Bam night. I would put Bam night in over Omarion Hampton this week, just because we don't know, and it's on Monday. There's no other time to recalibrate and do something else if you're wrong.
By the way, I looked it up. The last time the Steelers had a top 5 offense was 2015. The offense coordinator was Todd Haley.
Todd Haley, right? And him and Roethlisberger hated each other too, right?
Top 5 offense, though.
Top 5 offense, man. They've been just lost, and the reason is they are, despite my despising of the Steelers and Ravens, both teams are very well coached. They have the culture set, which is why even if you're not playing well, you still grind out wins, right? Which is what the Steelers do. They're just going absolutely nowhere.
So Alex mentioned fantasy football, and you kind of leaned on this a little bit earlier, so let's get into it, because that Bengals-Bills game has a lot of fantasy football implications for people. There's a lot of guys who are kind of like head-scratcher players, right? There's a lot of guys who are like, hey, who's catching the ball in Buffalo? T. Higgins coming off a concussion. Like, what is your analysis of this Bengals-Bills game? Because a lot of people have players on both those teams on their fantasy teams.
Yeah, I was impressed with Joe Burrow fantasy-wise, what he did coming off the bench, off of that injury for being out for so long. I think he got 19 fantasy points. You're talking long layoff. That's pretty good. I feel confident, as long as T. Higgins plays, you can roll out the usual suspects for Cincinnati. I'm not concerned because they're going to have to air it out, right? And the Bills are probably going to have to air it out. The Bills are so confusing to me. We're seeing Josh Allen making mistakes he hasn't made since his rookie season. Weird flip interceptions and bad decisions. Like, I don't understand what's going on. For the Bills, I think it's Josh Allen's James Cook. And you're kind of like, you're guessing, right? But I believe it's going to be in Buffalo. Weather just looks cold. Doesn't look like any extreme weather from what I can see. Just a little bit below freezing. I think they're just going to be chucking it up. Nice little, maybe some Chase Brown too as an RB2 for Cincinnati. I think it's the usual suspects, to be honest with you, Josh. I don't feel like I'm going to be trying to be too cute in this game. And in a game where if both teams want to win, you better be leaning on what's been working.
Well, that kind of is the reverse, because before we let you go, Andy McNamara, of course, joins us every week talking about NFL and fantasy football here at Hanging with Hennig. Josh Hennig along with Alex Berardis here on 97.3 ESPN. Colts, Jags, rain. Lots of rain in the forecast. Now, it's weird because players usually say, Andy, it's not the rain, it's the wind that usually is a huge impact. But we know sometimes when it rains, the footing gets a little... So are you looking at this game as, hey, ride your guys? Like if you're a Jacoby Myers owner, or if you're a Jonathan Taylor owner, or if you're a Travis Etienne, Trevor Lawrence, Daniel Jones. Like if you're an owner of these guys, do you say, listen, let it ride if you don't have a better option? Or are you saying take the risk and pull them out of your lineup?
Well, the ball gets slippery too, right? That's the other thing. Fumble issues, you want to run the ball a lot. That's great. What's the grip going to be? Bottom line, you got to ride your stars. especially this time of year in fantasy football. Don't overthink it, people, okay? Don't overthink it. You're going to get in your own head on this. Jonathan Taylor plays if he's healthy no matter what. I don't care. You're playing Jonathan Taylor. I don't care if he had a bad game or a good game. You're playing Jonathan Taylor, period. Travis Etienne, after that win against Tennessee, confusing usage, but he is still the lead back. I would load up Etienne. I would be fading the receivers on this because of that wet. But they're still going to have to throw it to somebody, right? Daniel Jones, I'm a little skittish on that, that fibula issue. What does that, poor footing. So maybe if I have another option, I would go away from a Daniel Jones, perhaps. You might not have a better option. So it really depends. What do you have as an alternative that you can pop in and does it make sense? I would say running backs would be the focus for me in that game.
Of course, Andy McNamara joins us each and every week, and we are all three of us in the 97.3 ESPN Fantasy Football League. And I'm just going to pull up the league standings here for a minute. Yes, Andy, you have been eliminated.
Yeah. I've lost more. I am like the reverse Kansas City Chiefs from last year where they won like every one-score game. I lost by less than 3 points last week to be eliminated, and that's happened like 3 or 4 times this year. Bad luck. Omarion Hampton on the IR. Just disappointing. Got to go back, take the Aaron Rodgers back to his little hobbit hole thing and reassess next year.
By the way, it looks like you had the third most points scored on you in the league this year.
Oh, my gosh. Jeez. See? Just a little bit. Sometimes you get a little bit of bad luck. What are you going to do? Right? Yes, I had a good team overall. Just didn't work out. Bad luck.
Now, Alex is on a tear. He's won 5 straight in fantasy football. And right now, me and him and a couple others, we're trying to make the playoffs because there's 1, 2.
I was 0-5. Now I'm 7-6.
Right. There's 3 of us at 7-6 right now.
Oh, slow start and then you popped. Good on you.
I have Bijan and JSN and Baker Mayfield. Like I was waiting. Like I knew my team wasn't what I'm not Billy Schwein. I'm not 0-12. That like
0-13.
0-13. Yeah. Like
oh wow.
I saw the vision. Like I saw the upside for this team. I didn't overreact. I didn't sell. I stayed put. I knew the team that I had. A little slow start like the Bengals, but we're gonna come through.
I like it, man. It's I'm trying to finish on a high note and not finish last in the division. Right now, if I can win this week, I might be able to pop up into 5th.
Well, at least you're not 0-13.
That is true. That's embarrassing. My Browns have been 0 for before, but
Andy, of course, you are the host of the Sick Podcast Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. Just search for the Sick Podcast on YouTube. Tell folks what we got going on tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir. And you know what? We're going to be going through. There are a ton of injuries and people coming back. Start-sits you want to tune in. 10 a.m. Eastern, YouTube, also on X at SickPodBrowns, at AndyMC81, Instagram at AndyMC Sports. We'll be going through fantasy football start-sits. Jump in the chat. Love having you guys in live to jump in, ask the questions. We'll react to it. We'll build the NFL Ultimate Betting Ticket, the Parlay Party, tee up Browns and Titans. I know that seems like a bit of a snoozer, but there are draft implications to that. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And one more thing, guys, too, for your listeners who want something on your Christmas list, you can get Axis Football 26 video game on PC, on Steam, on Xbox, on PlayStation, coming to Nintendo Switch and mobile. I'm the play-by-play voice of it. So it's like NFL style. You can create, the customization is incredible. You can create your own plays from scratch. Be very creative with it. It's under $30. Axis Football 26. You get to hear me be the play-by-play, and I even add a little extra Easter eggs on some touchdown scores for the Philadelphia team. Just a little nugget for you.
All right, very, very nice. Andy, always great stuff at AndyMC81 on Twitter X platform, at AndyMC Sports on Instagram. Appreciate it, my friend. We'll talk soon.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Josh Hennig along with Alex Berardis here on 97.3 ESPN. We'll come back and wrap up the second hour of the show on the other side. 97.3 ESPN FM, 97.3 ESPN mobile app powered by First Bank of Seattle and streaming live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio.
Tonight on Compass Media Network's coverage of NCAA football, we bring you the 2025 Big Ten Football Championship game, featuring the number 1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes and the number 2 ranked Indiana Hoosiers. Hi, it's Greg Daniels. Join Chad Brown and me for all the action as one of the nation's top football conferences crowns its champion.
It's College Football Saturday on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 8 p.m.
Brought to you by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
This football season, catch every game at the best sports bar in South Jersey. Yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora features every Eagles game with the sound on, along with the biggest college football games on their TVs every Saturday. Don't miss out on yesterday's nightly food special starting at 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday, along with reverse happy hour specials 9 p.m. to close each week. Plus, with the Flyers and Sixers season starting up, the place to be to watch the game is yesterday's Creekside Tavern on Roosevelt Boulevard in Marmora. So call your friends and catch all the games at the Y.
Listen up. The soap you shower with, it's you probably haven't even questioned what bar of soap you lather up with. Let's face it, most guys don't. But now you can upgrade your shower game with Dr. Squatch Natural Soap. I'm talking about natural, nourishing, cold-pressed, hand-cut soap for men. Men who use their hands. Men who build things. Men who catch foul balls without spilling their beer. You won't just smell good either. Your skin will be healthier and more nourished. We make our soaps with natural ingredients from the earth. Ingredients like oils, plants, goat's milk, Greek yogurt, oatmeal, shea butter, and citrus. Turn your shower game up to 11. Get ready to step out of the shower feeling alive.
Hey, this is Josh Hennig. Go to my social media and click my exclusive Dr. Squatch link for your chance to save $10 off your next order of great natural soap, deodorant, and much more. Only with Dr. Squatch.
Take a deep breath and visualize. It's Saturday. You just won up to $100 instant Kohl's Cash just because you are one of the first 100 in-store customers. Yes, visualize you at Kohl's as a winner. Plus, you'll also save up to 50% store-wide. It's all happening this Saturday at Kohl's. No purchase necessary while supplies last on 12/6/25. One card per household. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Offers end December 6th. See store or kohls.com for details.
Thanks to Total Wine, you saved more on all the gifts for the ones you adore. Wine, spirits, beers, all nestled on shelves. Got some advice from our helpful elves. Oh, so many gifts to explore when you go to Total Wine and more. Bottles so delightful, whoa. Priced so amazingly low.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Imagine being the wizard of your own home. With Xfinity, intelligent self-healing Wi-Fi fixes problems like magic. It boostifies speeds to your devices when you need it most, and makes your favorite Wicked content sparklify on every screen. All while a spell of protection helps keep your family safe online. When you're out in Oz, Xfinity Mobile joins Wi-Fi and 5G to keep your phone connected from here to the Emerald City. If you had the most intelligent Wi-Fi from Xfinity, everything would work together for good. And now you can cast a spell to stop time and keep your internet bill steady for 5 whole years. With the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. No contracts or commitments with amazifying equipment included. Xfinity, imagine that. And see Wicked for good, only in theaters November 21st. Restrictions apply, select plans only. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet.
Go for holiday bliss. Whether naughty or nice, you are not going to want to miss this. Go for nights that shine with friends, a toast so fine. Go to find Santa's place. Go to see that smiling face. Go to give the gift of cheer with the card that brings dreams near. With endless fun and things to do, it is the gift that keeps on giving too. Go for the dazzling lights, it's quite a sight. Go to Ocean Casino Resort for holiday magic of every sort.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-923-6829 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-923-6829. That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Gill from the Sports Bash. You know, I've been telling you about my friends over at the Nizam's Restaurant. Well, don't forget, their Eagles special is back. You get a free order of spicy tandoori chicken wings for dine-in customers when the Eagles win. They also have a great lunch buffet on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and has a great banquet space that can seat up to 100 people for private events and celebrations. So what are you waiting for? Try out the Nizam's in Harbor Square, Egg Harbor Township, right outside of Boscov's.
You're hanging with Josh Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
People will come, Ray.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
People will most definitely come.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN is always being brought to you by Work of Art Construction. Make your home look brand new. Whether you want to remodel your bathroom, get a kitchen makeover, have a brand new back deck, or you just want to install a new front door, some windows, call Art Masker at 609-788-4271 and learn more about how Work of Art can beautify your home. Let them know you heard about them on 97.3 ESPN to receive 10% off your next home project. Beautify your home with Art Masker's 40 years of construction experience. Call them now, 609-788-4271. Let them make your home truly a work of art. All right, Alex, before we get out of here, because we're talking more Eagles on the other side. So I wanted to let everybody know. So it's a funny thing we got going on in our fantasy league. And so in fantasy football, I want to know from everyone out there, what do you do when you have a scenario where basically one person has a chance to upset the entire apple cart, and that person right now is two people on the bye in the starting lineup? Because I don't want to say who it is on the radio because he might be listening, but one of the people in our league, Alex, has multiple people on bye weeks starting in their lineup this weekend, and they're one of the people who can potentially knock you or me out of the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm really hoping that his radio's off or something right now that he's not listening to.
Yeah, he's not watching on the YouTube stream or he's not paying attention or something.
Yeah. Hopefully his phone dies, can't charge until the weekend's over.
We don't want anything bad to happen to him. Just,
No, nothing crazy. Just don't look at fantasy for the next few days.
Yeah, maybe just technology dies or you lost the internet or something.
Yeah.
Maybe ESPN locks you out of your account for 24 hours.
That's the key right there.
That's the one you want to go with?
Yeah.
Coming up on the other side, we'll get back into the Eagles. Nick Foles said some very interesting things this week about the Philadelphia Eagles. I want to get into some of that because Rob Maaddi and I had an interesting debate about Nick Foles on social media, and you'll hear us have that debate coming up in the next hour. Josh Hennig, Alex Berardis, hanging out with you. Hang with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN, streaming live on YouTube and X at Josh Hennig.
Tomorrow on Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL, a bitter rivalry is renewed in Baltimore as the Ravens host the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hi, this is Chris Carino. Join me alongside Brian Baldiger for all the Week 14 action. These two AFC North foes collide with first place on the line. Can Lamar Jackson keep the Ravens ahead of J.J. Watt and the Steelers? Ravens-Steelers. If it's the NFL, it's right here.
It's NFL Sunday on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 1 p.m.
Tired of cooking and planning all of your meals each and every day? You need Prevail Nutrition to simplify your life. For almost a decade, Prevail Nutrition is a local meal prep company located in South Jersey that allows customers to design their own meal plan. or you can choose from a wide variety of chef-designed meals on their weekly changing Prevail Selects menu. You can order online for pickup or get free delivery on orders of over $50. Prevail Nutrition delivers to Atlantic and Cumberland counties along with Ocean City, or you can pick up your meals every Monday and Friday. Learn more about how Prevail Nutrition can simplify your life. Visit their website at prevailnutrition.club. Check out Prevail Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram. Prevail Nutrition is my go-to choice for prepared meals and food. Order online, like me, at prevailnutrition.club.
Looking to lower your energy bills and boost home comfort? South Jersey Gas has you covered with a no-cost in-home, whole-home energy assessment. Our energy expert will review your home's energy efficiency and provide a personalized report of energy-saving improvements. Plus, you may also receive energy-efficient upgrades like faucet aerators, smart power strips, and LED light bulbs at no cost to you. Don't wait to save money and energy. Schedule your whole-home energy assessment today at sjgsaveenergy.com or call 201-690-7897 today.
Protect your home and auto by bundling them with Progressive, and you'll have a little less to worry about. But we know you'll find other things to worry about. Like that text you just got from your boss. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Oh, hey, call me when you get a sec. Yeah, this is bad. Oh, well, at least you protected your home and auto with Progressive, so you don't have to worry about that. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Take a deep breath and visualize. It's Saturday. You just won up to $100 instant Kohl's Cash just because you are one of the first 100 in-store customers. Yes, visualize you at Kohl's as a winner. Plus, you'll also save up to 50% store-wide. It's all happening this Saturday at Kohl's. No purchase necessary while supplies last on 12/6/25. One card per household. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. Offers end December 6th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Are you ready to sell your home? Call Dave Beach. He makes sure his clients receive the very best in service. Dave Beach at RE/MAX Community is your trusted local expert. Fast closings, top offers, and service just like your family. 609-685-4942. Online at soldbydavebeach.com.
Home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
They've got him! It's a sack!
Sixers.
Oh, baby!
And Flyers.
He scored!
97.3 ESPN. WENJ. WENJ HD. Millville, Atlantic City. A Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Finally! This is Hanging with Hennig.
I have friends everywhere.
On 97.3 ESPN Radio, South Jersey.
In New Jersey. Am I right? Yeah.
Live feed on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
It seems to run on some form of electricity. Well, you're not wrong.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together.
Now, here's your host.
He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Josh Hennig.
Hour 3 of Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Along with Alex Berardis, Josh Hennig hanging out with you. Hour 3. Still to come. We got Rob Maaddi from the Associated Press who will join us coming up. I know that there might be some Phillies news, but I'm trying to corroborate it because either Twitter is not cooperating with me or there's a fake person tweeting out news reports, which is always possible. In today's world, I mean, I don't know how it is for you, Alex, but I feel like every time I go on social media now...
Okay, it's false.
Okay, so yeah. So here's what happens. So the latest thing I've noticed is, and this goes back to like my journalism background because my first media job was as a newspaper journalist. They always used to say, find 2 or 3 sources to corroborate before you say anything, right? And so I'm glad we held off on that because every time I open my phone now, whether it's Twitter or Instagram, there's a fake account every single day posting something. And like I'm at the point where between AI of videos and fake like news accounts, I just trust nobody. I just can't. I can't trust these people. And, not trusting people has saved us again here on 97.3 ESPN. All right. I did want to get to the Nick Foles stuff. For those who haven't heard, Nick Foles on the Seasons podcast had some interesting comments right now. And then we'll get back to your text in just a bit at 609-403-0973. I see, by the way, a Steve and Ventnor. So, Steve, I will get to your questions in just a bit. But first, I want to get to, so Nick Foles had some interesting comments about the Eagles. And we've been talking about the issues with the Eagles offense. So, Alex, if you could play the first bite there. So, basically, part of the conversation is, we have been saying here on I've been saying on 97.3 ESPN for months that they need a real adult, a real veteran to come in and help this team. Well, Nick Foles was asked about the idea of Frank Reich. Here's what he had to say about Frank Reich, who is also Nick Foles' former coach in Philadelphia and Indianapolis.
You call Frank, and not only as a consultant, there's a couple coaches on the staff in Philly that have been with Frank. They love Frank. Frank's a mentor to Nick Sirianni. It's always great to have a mentor without an ego stepping in. That's Frank. Frank can come in there and he can give you a soundboard to sit in meetings. As a head coach, it's very lonely. As a starting quarterback, it's very lonely because you are the top of the totem pole. You are the leader. It's very difficult to have those conversations with people that can relate to what you're going through. Frank Reich absolutely can relate.
So here's the deal. Okay, I love this idea, Alex, because one, he's an experienced coach. Two, Reich doesn't have an ego. He's not coming in here to be like, I'm going to be next head coach. I'm going to steal Kevin Patullo's job. Just come in here, help out, talk to the guys, work with them, and it just makes too much sense, right, Alex?
Yes, he's obviously had success here in Philadelphia. Went to Indy, didn't pan out great.
He had a modicum of success. People forget that he went to the postseason with 3 different quarterbacks at one point. So, remember that first year at Andrew Luck, and then they had Jacoby Brissett, then they had Phillip Rivers, and they had Carson Wentz. So the change in the quarterback probably didn't help his overall win-loss record, but he showed you that between that Philadelphia and his previous work with the Chargers, that he is a very competent and well-regarded offensive coach.
Well, currently he's the interim coach at Stanford.
Which the season's over.
Okay, so that would have had to been figured out, but I guess it is now. But look, I'm down for anything at this point.
Anything.
Frank Reich is a known name, known winner, especially in the city. Because they've made it known that it's too late for them to just replace Kevin Patullo and who's calling the offense. Especially, they're not going to go out of the organization. Now, yeah, Frank Reich he is out of the organization, but not he has a ton of experience here. So there's still connections. There's still an easier pathway to bring him in.
And I think that's where it gets to the other point that Nick Foles made. I'm going to fast forward here to the one that's hovered over right now, Alex, because I think that point is a very interesting point about the why the Frank Reich makes sense. And when I heard this week, this is when I lost my doggone mind, because I was like, this was the moment where the light bulb went off to be like, oh my gosh, this explains everything. Go ahead.
Frank would be a great asset. Say Kevin's in the box, Frank's sitting next to him. He can help him throughout the different situations. When defense goes and playing, when you're trying to figure out what first base downs, third downs you're calling next, Frank is a great asset. This is Frank's offense that Nick is running.
It's a great point.
So Frank can give you that insight. This is the number one call. If you're Jeffrey Lurie, Howie Roseman, you are getting Frank right there to be a consultant to help, not call plays, but to help Kevin out. So Kevin's not alone out there, man. This is his first year calling plays. That is a very difficult position to be in.
Now, there's a lot there. But the highlight to me is that Nick Sirianni is running Frank Reich's offense. So wait a minute. So we're running Frank Reich's offense. Then the first call you make is Frank Reich. You should have called Frank Reich this offseason before he got the interim job at Stanford. Howie and Jeffrey Lurie and Nick should have all got on a Zoom call with Frank and been like, hey, Frank, what do you think? They should have been making Zoom calls all week. Hey, Frank, your season at Stanford is done. Come and just talk to us for a day. This is his offense? It's the whole Vic Fangio thing. We kept hiring Vic Fangio disciples, right? Jonathan Gannon and Sean Desai. And they were like, no, wait, never mind. We'll bring in the guy. I'm not saying I want Kevin Patullo fired. Probably everyone loves the guy, blah, blah, blah. But there's nothing wrong with Frank being on a Zoom call with Patullo and Nick and like going over the game plan if it's his offense, Alex.
Like Kevin's drowning right now. Why not throw him a little life vest, a little life preserver? That's what Frank Reich could be to this team, to Kevin, to the whole organization. Like we need help. It's not easy for people, but like this team needs help right now.
Yes.
Like, but the interesting thing is when Nick's saying this is Frank Reich's offense, how does it just look so much worse from when he was calling? Like,
well, I think it goes back to who's calling the plays. You know, I've heard a lot of people from Chris Long, Dan Orlovsky, to others who have said that Cam Newton is the other one I heard say is that there's a difference between play calling and calling plays. That like there's a rhythm to calling a game as a play caller, but calling just plays off of a sheet or like having a scripted list of plays, that's not play calling. And so I think Patullo's lack of experience is the reason why. Patullo doesn't understand how to ride the wave of a game. He's been learning on the job, and everyone has been suffering for it. You as a fan have been suffering for it. The Eagle players have been suffering for it. Nick Sirianni's sanity has been suffering for it. We're all suffering because this man's learning on the job. Why not bring in somebody who can... I'm not saying I want him to hold his hand, okay? I'm not saying that Frank Reich needs to baby him, but, you know, bring Frank in. Just be like, hey, Frank, can you watch the Bears game? Tell me what you think. Give me some notes.
Because if you ask Kevin Patullo and you say, hey, it gives us a better chance of winning a Super Bowl, are you going to be... How are you going to feel rather you went down, couldn't admit I need some help, and it's a first-round bye or a first-round bounce, rather than admitting, hey, I need some help over here?
Well, I think it's a bigger issue for Nick Sirianni to say what you're saying, because it's Sirianni who should be taking the onus on this. It should be Sirianni saying, we need help. This isn't going very well. It's not good enough. I need, Kevin Patullo. If Kevin Patullo is your boy, okay, Alex, let's say you have a really good friend. Your friend needs help. Are you going to help him or not?
Yeah.
Are you going to let him just, like, struggle at work?
No.
You're going to help him out, right?
Yeah, which is what should have been happening weeks ago here. I have a question for you that I've been wondering because it's gotten brought up in the past week with Patullo. Okay. Billy was talking about it on the locker room before we got on here. Is it that much of a difference if Patullo's upstairs with Fangio calling his plays rather than on the sidelines? Because personally, to me, it's half a dozen to one. If you're on the field, yeah, I get you could see more of the field. You can see what the defense is, what schemes they're running, what formations they have. But if you just still can't, like you said, this play call is setting up the next play call, which sets up the next play call. Whether you can do that in the box or on the field, to me, it's all the same.
A guy like Foles is a very high football IQ guy. If Nick Foles thinks it could help, I don't care if you think it actually does help or not. There's nothing wrong with trying it.
We're at that point now.
Exactly. Listen, if you're the person who says, we need to fix this, and then I say, I have a solution, and you're like, no, I don't like your solution, well, then you don't really want to fix it. The people who are against Patullo going to the box are the people who don't really want to fix the problem. They want to fix the problem on their terms. And that's the problem. This offense has been a problem all year long. Not the last 2 weeks. All year long. They are worse since the bye week. Typically, you go to the bye week, you get better. They're worse since the bye week. So, if I'm the Eagles, I say Patullo, I don't care how many times you've been in the box or not. I don't care what Nick Foles thinks. I don't care what anyway. Just do it once.
We got to see what we got.
Just see what happens.
Yeah, I'm not against it.
Test drive the car. See if you like it.
Yeah, I'm not against it because if it works, it works. If not, we're just right where we're at. I just don't, again, never called plays. I don't know really like what that's like. But
see, this is where I hate that thing. This is where the thing I argue with Billy Schweim all the time. Okay? You don't have to have done XYZ to have the knowledge of how it works, okay?
No, I'm just saying I don't know how much of a difference it actually makes.
I don't need to be an expert on nuclear fusion to know that the fuel cells shouldn't overlap and crash into each other because it might blow up, okay? I don't need to be an expert on zoology to know that I don't want rabbits and tigers in the same cage, okay? This idea that I have to have played the game to know is the greatest fugazi thing in the world because we live in a world with more information than ever. Alex, you can sit down and watch Dan Orlovsky, Brian Baldinger, Emery Hunt, and 5 other people during the week, and you would be just as knowledgeable, if not more, than anyone else because that's the world we live in now. So don't buy into this lie that I don't know how play calling works. But what you do know is what other people say how play calling works. And if people who have played the game, who know the game, are saying this is how it works, then I think it's how it works.
All right. No, I was just saying in that, like, I'm down for the change. I just don't know how much of a difference maker that is, whether you're in the box. Fangio likes it, and he's obviously doing well.
Some guys love the box. Some guys don't like the box.
It's just, I'm down for it because something has to change, whether it's Frank Reich or if they're just so boneheaded to not make a change, which it seems like we're treading in that direction.
Yeah, dangerously treading.
Yeah, put him upstairs then. Like,
do something.
That's the thing. We're just waiting, or at least the front office and Nick Sirianni is just waiting for a different outcome. That's literally what insanity is.
Yeah, do the same thing again and expecting
a different result.
Let's squeeze in 2 texts before we move forward because I do like some of these texts that are coming in. George from Summers Point chimes in and says, hey guys, let's see you talk about Nick Foles makes you think the perfect next Eagles coordinator is Nick Foles. Takes care of the current situation, but for the future, I think it's a move the Eagles need to make. Listen, I wouldn't be against it. At this point, anybody's got to be better in the current situation, right? Like, but that's part of the problem, Alex. Nick Sirianni's only once brought in someone from the outside.
I said it last week. It's just up to Nick Foles whether he would even be open to that.
That's true.
Because I think he's loving the podcast, being a dad, like doing all his stuff.
That's true.
Which credit to him. If that, like, I'm just begging you as a fan, like, just come back, Nick. Like, let's have another Cinderella run. Like, but no. Honestly, we keep bringing up Nick Sirianni and not making these calls. He just might be stubborn at this point to where he's saying, no, I brought in Kevin Patullo. I'm going to be right on this. Nick, newsflash, you ain't right.
Yeah.
You're wrong on this one. So we say Kevin Patullo, get the help. Nick Sirianni's got to be man enough to say, I messed this one up.
Yes.
I have to right this wrong.
And I need Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie to put Nick Sirianni in a room to have that honest conversation with him, too. Listen, if the owners want to talk to A.J. Brown, he needs to talk to Nick Sirianni and be like, bro, this ain't working. What are you going to do about it?
Hard decisions have to be made, but when you're trying to get to the level that the Eagles could be with the team that is constructed right now, hard decisions have to be made. Because you can't... If we look back 5 years from now and one championship was all we got out of this, that's a disappointment, I'd say.
Huge disappointment.
And that doesn't happen very often where you can say we're disappointed with one championship. You have to capitalize on what you have right now. And this team, the talent they got, they can do it. They can win more than one.
He's Alex Berardis. I'm Josh Hennig, hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Don't forget, Hanging with Hennig is being brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook, the only sportsbook app offering you Caesars rewards. Bet on gridiron action and earn perks on every game like hotel stays, bonus bets, game tickets, and more. Download the app using my promo code Radio20X. Place your first bet of $1 or more for your chance to double your winnings on your next 20 bets. Open new users in New Jersey who are 21 or older. Max bet of $25 for boosted winnings. Max additional winnings $2,500 per bet. Profit boost tokens expire 14 days after receipt. See Caesars.com/promos for full terms. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Coming up next, my conversation with Rob Maaddi from the Associated Press, and then we will give our final thoughts on the show, plus Joey D. and Ventnor and Steven Ventnor chiming in on the text board, 609-403-0973. And we are live on YouTube and X in the Dr. Squatch virtual studio.
Tonight on Compass Media Network's coverage of NCAA football, we bring you the 2025 Big Ten Football Championship game, featuring the #1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes and the #2 ranked Indiana Hoosiers. Hyatt's Greg Daniels joined Chad Brown and me for all the action as one of the nation's top football conferences crowns its champion.
It's College Football Saturday on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 8 p.m.
Brought to you by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
Making your home look brand new is what Work of Art Construction can do for you. Ready to remodel your bathroom or have a kitchen makeover? Art Masker has 40 years of experience in construction and knows how to make your home look like a work of art. Want to install a new back deck or invest in a new front door? Just call Art Masker at 609-788-4271 to learn more. Visit Work of Art Construction on Instagram to see how Work of Art Construction can make your home look brand new. Beautify your home with Work of Art. Call him at 609-788-4271 and let them make your home truly a work of art.
This football season, catch every game at the best sports bar in South Jersey. Yesterday's Creekside Tavern in Marmora features every Eagles game with the sound on, along with the biggest college football games on their TVs every Saturday. Don't miss out on yesterday's nightly food specials starting at 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday, along with reverse happy hour specials 9 p.m. to close each week. Plus, with the Flyers and Sixers season starting up, the place to be to watch the game is yesterday's Creekside Tavern on Roosevelt Boulevard in Marmora. So call your friends and catch all the games at the Y.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers, and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
With Cyber Week savings at the Home Depot, get up to 40% off, plus up to an extra $500 off select innovative appliances like GE Profile. Add a touch of ease to your holiday with the all-in-one combo to wash and dry your laundry in one machine. And refrigerators with built-in convenient features like the dual dispense autofill water pitcher. Shop Cyber Week savings on select appliances in-store and online now at the Home Depot. Offer valid 12/4 through 12/10, U.S. only. See store online for details.
Go for holiday bliss. Whether naughty or nice, you are not going to want to miss this. Go for nights that shine with friends, a toast so fine. Go to find Santa's place. Go to see that smiling face. Go to give the gift of cheer with the card that brings dreams near. With endless fun and things to do, it is the gift that keeps on giving too. Go for the dazzling lights. It's quite a sight. Go to Ocean Casino Resort for holiday magic of every sort.
Imagine being the wizard of your own home. With Xfinity, intelligent self-healing Wi-Fi fixes problems like magic. It boostifies speeds to your devices when you need it most and makes your favorite Wicked content sparklify on every screen. All while a spell of protection helps keep your family safe online. When you're out in Oz, Xfinity Mobile joins Wi-Fi and 5G to keep your phone connected from here to the Emerald City. If you had the most intelligent Wi-Fi from Xfinity, everything would work together for good. And now you can cast a spell to stop time and keep your internet bill steady for 5 whole years. with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. No contracts or commitments with amazifying equipment included. Xfinity, imagine that. And see Wicked for Good, only in theaters November 21st. Restrictions apply. Select plans only. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity Internet.
Now back to Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
Josh Hennig back here on 97.3 ESPN. It is a big, big football weekend. That's because the Eagles play on Monday football, but we are entering the stretch of the season. The good teams are going to separate from the great teams as who's going to make the postseason. And, of course, this time of year is always a fun time of year to talk about the quarterbacks. And my guy, Rob Maaddi from the Associated Press, AP Senior NFL Insider, put out his list of the top 5 best statistical years for a quarterback in NFL history. And for those who are not realizing, Matthew Stafford is on the verge of having one of those historic years. And then Rob and I decided to have a little friendly back and forth. So I decided, well, why doesn't Rob come on and talk a little bit about these quarterbacks and obviously lead us into the Eagles offense. Rob, welcome back into the show. How you doing today?
What's going on, Josh? And, of course, as soon as I put that out last week, Matthew Stafford goes and throws 2 picks and has 3 turnovers in a game where the Rams lose to the Carolina Panthers. So apologies for jinxing Matthew Stafford and the Rams last week, but I think he'll get back on track against Arizona.
Well, listen, styles make fights, okay? And Zero Avero, he knows that McVay-Shanahan coaching tree very, very well. So I think that was more about who Stafford was going against than about you, okay, Rob?
And I love seeing matchups where there's familiarity within the coaching ranks, where there's guys who, and sometimes it doesn't even have to be coordinator. It could be some sort of position coach or someone who's an offensive line coach. But as long as there's any kind of familiarity, it just adds a little bit of intrigue to it. And sometimes you see some guys get the better of others because they know them so well, and they've grown up together or played together or whatever it may be. Grown up together, meaning in the coaching tree or things along those lines.
Yeah, well, we'll get into some coaching tree questions a little bit later. But first, let's start with this list because, now listen, my issue with your list wasn't your 5, okay? For those who haven't seen it, you had Lamar Jackson's year as number 1. The Peyton Manning 2013 is number 2. Brady's 2007 is 3. Aaron Rodgers 2020 is 4. And then Mahomes 2018 is fine. I took issue with your honorable mentions, which is there anything more Philly sports, Rob, than me nitpicking along the edges there, right?
Yeah, I love it. And I really went into this exercise because I didn't know what number 1 would be. And there you can argue, like, Lamar was just last year.
Right.
And the more I looked at it and the more I looked at the other numbers, and I put a lot of stock into not throwing a lot of interceptions. Mm-hmm. Like if you throw fewer interceptions, to me that, when he had only 4 picks last year and 41 touchdowns and over 4,000 yards and then ran for 915. Like, for him to run for 915, and Peyton Manning didn't do that. Tom Brady didn't do that. And I went into it looking, to argue against myself, going, I can't be Lamar. It was just last year. I'm just having recency bias. No, somebody else had to have a bit. Like Brady had to have, Manning had to have, Breeze. Somebody had to do something along the lines. And then I'm like, no, Lamar really? What? And the passer rating, 119.6. And obviously this year he's nowhere near that. And I think he's slowed a little bit, not a little bit, a lot by the injury that he's been dealing with. Yeah. But had to go Lamar number 1. And then Manning, the record-setting year, it's 54. I wanted to go Brady over Manning at some point, and I couldn't justify it. He's got a record-setting year. He throws for 54-77. He's got 55 touchdowns. And yeah, Manning throws more picks than a lot of the other guys. But how many did he have that year? That 55-10 year. I think he his numbers that year were
10.
Yeah, 50. He had 10. He had 55 and 10. So that might be the only guy I had at double digits in the top 5. I know Dan Marino, who I put in the honorable mention. I'm surprised you didn't want to argue Drew Brees over Dan Marino, his 84 season. Now, for me, I had to go old school with one guy, and Marino would be the one because it was.
Well, that's why I didn't
get annihilated.
That's why
in '84.
Well, that's why for me I didn't push back on Marino, because that was a different world. Like back then, you could mug the receivers, you could murder the quarterback. Like Marino, to me, anyone before 2000 who put up big stat years, I give way more respect than after 2000. Like for example, one of the guys I mentioned to you was Steve Young in that '94 season when he had 35 touchdowns, 10 receptions, and a 70% completion percentage. To me, anyone in that era before 2000, you just got to treat them differently, you know?
And Steve Young may have had one of my favorite touchdown runs ever. That was it overtime against the Vikings where it was 40 or 45 yards and he's breaking tackles and just it was incredible. What that year, his 35 and 10, he almost had 4,000. He just was 31 yards short. I want to see how many he ran for. 94, because Steve could scramble. 1994, he scrambled for.
He only had
surprising, only 293 that year.
But he had 7 touchdowns, 7 rushing touchdowns.
He did. He had 7. So he Josh Allen did. He was over 40 combined touchdowns there, which is I love watching Josh and what he can do. And he caught a touchdown last year. Well, no, it was a lateral, right? So I don't know how that goes in the scorebook.
Listen, all I know is Josh Allen ain't Jameis Winston, okay?
What a move he put on. What a move.
Well, did you see the video that Jameis was working on running routes this offseason?
No, I didn't see that. Why? Yeah. Why was he running routes? Was he trying to come back as a receiver at some point?
No, he basically, when they found out that when the Giants signed him, that he was trying, because he realized he was the third quarterback on the team, that he was trying to create more value for himself in the offense.
Oh, okay. Good for Jameis. Jameis is one of the most likable guys, I think, in any sport, and especially for someone for where he came from, as young as his young, immature behavior compared to where he is now and how he's well received. You love seeing that, and of course, there are going to be people who hold his past actions and everything against him, but I think we all grow up, and Jameis certainly grew up, matured, and is doing a great job.
Well, he matured, and he changed his life around because of his faith. I think that's the other part of it as well, that he went from being an immature child. He's talking about this in interviews. He went from being an immature child to being a man of family and faith, and I think that's what makes him so likable. Even in the Hard Knocks last night, where the Hard Knocks, even Dak is oh, I love Jameis. Jameis is a great guy. I love that guy, and it's to see other players talk about Jameis that way. But anyway, back to the quarterback rankings. The other guy I said was Drew Brees 2011, Rob, because that year Drew Brees had a 71% completion percentage, almost 5,500 passing yards. I know he had 14 interceptions, but it's man, I mean, you couldn't have given Drew a little bit of love in the honorable mentions?
Yeah, he probably deserved an honorable mention. I didn't like the 14 picks, especially in the post-2000s era. That's why I look at Nick Foles' 27-2 year as I think one of the greatest individual seasons you'll ever see in Philly sports, because guys, it's so easy to throw a pick. Although Jalen's only got 2 interceptions this year, and sometimes the balls just fall to the ground instead of falling into someone else's arms. But that year by Drew was fantastic. And what was his completion percentage? Had to be in the 70s.
71.2.
Yeah, and may have set a record that has since been broken. So you've got a great argument. I think Drew certainly potentially should have been in. But who am I taking out? If you're putting him in, you got to take someone out of that honorable mention. You're taking Josh Allen out from last year. You're taking the other Brady season or the other Manning season. I guess you could look at the other Manning season. Which one was
2004? 2004.
That's the one I put in, right?
Yep.
2004 Manning was 49-10, so he had more touchdowns, fewer picks, but almost 1,000 less yards.
Yeah.
He was at 45-57. Peyton's passer rating, that was his career best, 121.1. And Drew's
was 110.6.
All right, so Peyton had the better passer rate. I mean, that's the argument there. It's which one of those I think would be the one if you have to take out. It would have to be. I'm not taking out Marino's year.
No.
I'm not taking out Josh or Brady. Who was my other honorable mention?
Rodgers 2011.
And so that year he said that's the number one passer rating season ever, and I didn't even put it in the top 5.
Yeah,
I think he still holds the record. He's got the top 2 seasons with best passer rating, but you know how I feel about passer rating.
Yeah, passer rating. Well, there's a Peyton's Places episode with him and Kirk Cousins ripped it apart because Kirk Cousins is a better career passer rating than Peyton Manning. So we already know passer rating's a little flawed. Talk with Rob Maaddi here, AP senior NFL insider, joining me here. Josh Hennig hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN. Rob, you mentioned Nick Foles. I got to ask you about Nick Foles because Nick Foles got this podcast now. Him and Cup of Coffee Eagle Evan Moore. I don't know if you remember him or not. Evan Moore and him have a podcast called the Season Podcast, and Foles has been very critical of Kevin Patullo, and they went as far to say in a recent episode that Nick Foles says, hey, they should call Frank Reich and have Frank come in and help Nick and Patullo with the offense. What do you think about the Frank Reich coming back to help in maybe some advisory role in Philadelphia?
I'm actually surprised that Nick would be critical of anyone to that extent. Just knowing Nick and knowing his personality, so that kind of I haven't watched the show or listened to the podcast. Is it also on YouTube? Everybody's doing.
Oh yeah,
both,
it's
right?
well. I see everything on YouTube. Yeah. I see everything on YouTube.
You get to watch it and listen to it. I got to reach out to Nick. He's going to go on Faith on the Field sooner or later. We just got to figure out a time. So that'd be a good conversation to have. And Kevin Patullo is certainly worthy of criticism, whether it's from Nick Foles, whether it's from you, me, or anyone else. That offense has looked predictable, lacked creativity, and they've taken a Super Bowl champion juggernaut, and they've become mediocre on offense. I think there's a lot of accountability that needs to take place among the players too themselves. And I don't think we can discount the fact that the offensive line isn't as good as it was last year. And we all know what the numbers are when Lane Johnson isn't playing, and Lane Johnson was injured in the Cowboys game, didn't finish it, didn't play against the Bears. And they're are they even 333 without Lane Johnson over the course of his career? The numbers aren't good. So I think that's a big factor, but you still have so much talent on the team. Oh, here it is, 15-26 when he doesn't play. So that would be a little bit better than 333. But you certainly have so much talent on that team that you should be able to make up for Lane Johnson's absence without looking so putrid or pathetic as they did against the Bears. And there were plays there to be made, Josh, and they just didn't make them, whether it was Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith being miscommunicating, being out of sync, or other plays along the way. They just didn't hit and they didn't connect. And I think a lot of the blame has to fall on the quarterback, the play caller. And sometimes, you never know. People want to rip A.J. Brown. They want to rip him because of his personality and the way he's complained this season and he's spoken out. But we don't know what the route calls for. So it's hard to look at a route and say he should have run this or he should have done that unless they come out and tell you. And then they don't come out and tell you. And more often than not, the quarterback's going to come out and take the blame for it because that's what a leader's supposed to do and say, hey, I missed that. And it's incumbent upon the receiver himself. Otherwise, the coach oftentimes isn't going to say who did it either. So until proven otherwise, I think I'm going to lay more of the blame on the coaching and the quarterbacking.
Well, I think that goes into the news that came out after the game, Rob. You're someone who covered Philadelphia sports for many years. You're originally from this area before you became national AP senior NFL insider Rob Maaddi, joining us here on 97.3 ESPN. Also host of Faith of the Field, heard Saturday and Sunday mornings right here on 97.3 ESPN. The story came out, and Kevin Patullo corroborated it, that people egged his house, and people found out where he lived in New Jersey. They found his house, and they went after his home. And basically, Patullo, I thought was very classy. You know, listen, I may not like his play calling. I may think he's not qualified for the job, but I never want to see the guy's home get, vandalized. And I thought Patullo took the high ground today, saying, look, there's a lot of things I love about the city, but, you never cross the line and go after my family.
Yeah, and certainly it's a disgrace for something like that to happen. And, Philly fans have this reputation, and oftentimes it's blown out of proportion, right, in the national media, and they bring up Santa Claus and they bring up the snowballs. And I always try and argue, like, it's a passionate fan base, but they're good fans and they understand sports. And then something like this happens, and there's absolutely no justification for it. That's crossing the line. That should never happen. And it's unfortunate that anything like that would happen. And nowadays, especially in this era of social media and then sports betting, some of the things that players and coaches have to deal with because people lost bets, because people are losing money, and the DMs and all of this stuff, the nameless, faceless trolls who can come after you and attack you. You're human. No matter what profession you're in, human nature, you're going to be impacted by it one way or another, whether it's your mental health, your mental well-being, whether it's thinking about it, whether it's impacting your family, your kids, your wife, whoever it may be in the house. And then people want to try and say, well, you chose that life, you're making a ton of money. How much are coordinators making? Like, I know it's better than the average salary, right, and all of that stuff. And but they're also living year to year, because coaches get fired. That means his whole staff is gone. So it's not that glamorous job that it's cracked up to be. And you're spending all these hours at work. You're spending all these hours in front of in the film room, and you're watching, like, you're missing out on family events and all of this stuff because you're so fixated and you're so dedicated to your craft. And when things aren't going well, you're certainly going to hear the criticism, but it's one thing to boo. It's another thing to do what I won't even call them fans, because they're idiots. They're not fans. They're morons. So you can't do that kind of thing. That behavior is reprehensible, and it's not representative of what a Philadelphia Eagles fan should be. And I think all Eagles fans should be appalled by it.
Yeah, and I would just say that, getting back to Patullo, I think that in some ways, and I'm not excusing the behavior. It was wrong. It was bad, but the Eagles kind of brought some of this criticism on themselves, because they already went through this, Rob, in 2023 when they hired from in-house. And frankly, I think the owner, Jeffrey Lurie, and the GM, Howie Roseman, and Nick Sirianni, they should have had a better meeting this offseason, and they should have realized that, hey, if you're promoting from within, you're going to bring a level of criticism if it doesn't work out. And I'm not saying that they're necessarily to blame for people egging Patullo's house, but I think there is some blame with the Eagles' entire collective think tank to say that to think and believe that a man who's never called plays at any level of football, Rob, should be the man for the job for a team that's defending Super Bowl champions.
Yeah, and they went out of the system, right, and brought in Kellen Moore and won a Super Bowl, and felt comfortable with someone in-house in Kevin Patullo. I'm not going to – the fact that he hasn't called plays isn't – you've seen other guys step in. You got to call plays at some point, and it's going to be a first time, whether it's Andy Reid going from quarterback coach to NFL head coach calling plays, or Doug Peterson, and other guys have done it and have had success doing it. I think this is one where – Nick's he's an offensive-minded head coach. Therefore, you've got to have an imprint on the offense. And whether it's taking play calling away, and I don't know if something happened maybe 2 years ago when the whole thing went down with Brian Johnson and Sirianni's job was in jeopardy and he stayed, whether or not that kind of impact his willingness or desire to be more heavily involved, or maybe the front office, Jeffrey Lurie and Howie Roseman, and they're feeling on it. Like, hey, you've got to have somebody else, and we want you to be more of a CEO head coach, and it worked last year, but it's not working. And when things aren't working, change has to be made. I will say this. They're not going to come right out and say it, what the changes are. It just, that doesn't happen. That's got to be revealed through sources breaking the story to someone along the way, if anything's happened. Like, and I think Nick said at some point this week, like, it wouldn't be to my benefit if I tell you what any of the changes are. And things could be changing, and we could see that happening as early as Monday against the Chargers at SoFi. But they're not going to tell you, and maybe it is Nick having more of a voice on the offense and having more of a say and maybe call. I don't know, but something's what they're doing right now isn't working. So when something isn't working, the worst thing you can do is continue to do it over and over and over again. And you know, again, the saying, you do the same thing again and again. I think something different. It's called insanity. You know, it's it's like, but I think that goes to the other problem, Rob, which is, you know, them bringing back Brandon Graham, I think, was a symbol of another thing, which is I feel like there's no adult in the room. Like, I always go back to the Malcolm Jenkins story in 2017 when Carson Wentz went down, when he turned around and was like, hey, guys, season ain't over, man. We can still win this thing. And, you know, the veterans in the locker room, the Malcolm Jenkins, the Chris Longs, and, you know, the LeGarrette Blunts, they kind of stepped up and they were like, hey, guys, we gotta pick things up. And the Eagles are one of the youngest defenses in the NFL, Rob. It's them and the Packers, two of the youngest defenses in the NFL. You have an Eagles offense, and without Lane Johnson, they're really lacking a lot of veteran leadership. And, like, I feel like, I mean, I'm not saying I need Macho Rowe for the 93 Phillies, but I feel like I need somebody to walk around that locker room who's a little bit more, no offense to Brandon Graham, he's the nicest guy in the world. You know what I mean? I need someone who's not as nice as Brandon Graham walking around the Eagles locker room. Yeah, maybe a Fletcher Cox, maybe a Jason Kelsey, and they've lost a lot of leaders. They've lost a lot of leaders over the past few years, and you need guys to step up. And you know, it ain't going to be Big Play Slay, who got picked up by was it Buffalo? Buffalo, yep. Who the Eagles played a couple weeks, by the way. Yeah, which I don't know that he has much football left in him, or good football left in him, to make any of a difference. And he's not a guy whose a voice would resonate in that locker room as a leader. I think there were some players who thought he was more of a me first guy based on some of the things that he had said over the years. But I can understand your perspective on that, and you shouldn't have to. Players should be able to be held accountable, and coaches should be in place to where you don't have to police yourselves with another veteran or someone along those lines. But sometimes locker rooms need that, and guys like Malcolm Jenkins are rare. Guys like Jason Kelsey, even I think to some degree Brent Stellick he didn't play as much that year in 2017. Like, he wasn't the starting tight end. He was more of the number two behind Zach Ertz, but I think his voice resonated. Guys like that, and they need players to step up. Like, I don't think Jalen's personality is such that he's going to be that guy. I think he's more of that quiet, lead by example guy. I mean, we see it, and people criticize him for it sometimes, for what they perceive as lack of communicating. The one thing I will say is that he's talking to guys on the sideline. It's just that the camera's not catching it. The camera's watching the game, and occasionally they'll pan over to the sideline, and you'll see Jalen sitting there. He's not just sitting there the entire time. He's talking to guys on the sideline. There may have been that clip where he's talking to Devontae Smith, like, oh, at least that proves it. Like, people can see. He does speak to other players on the sideline. He doesn't just sit there with a blank stare on his face. Like, if you're at an Eagles game and you're a reporter or you're a fan and you're watching the side, you should be able to see it to where that shouldn't have become a narrative. Yeah, meanwhile, the media, I felt like most of the year has only shown Jalen Hurts talking to Kevin Patullo, and what has been, I would describe as maybe inopportune moments, if optically, you know. So it makes it look like that Jalen most of the year is mad at the coordinator,
when if you're actually at the game or closely observing the sidelines, you're not seeing Jalen only talking to the OC and then sitting down all in a huff and a puff. But with that being said, Rob, the Eagles, they have lost a couple games in a row here. They are 8-4. They're going to play the Chargers on Monday Night Football. How much in trouble do you think the Eagles are before I let you go? Tell me how you think, are the Eagles still top dogs in the NFC? Is it now maybe the Rams? Is it maybe the Bears laying claim to that? What is your take on the Eagles standing in the NFC now?
As soon as you anoint somebody top dog, and I did that with the Rams last week, they go and lose to the Carolina Panthers. I had done it with the Eagles a few weeks back, and they went and they lost. So I will give you a little bit of some good news. I've got the Eagles as my best bet, and I pick every game, and I'm 10-3 straight up as a best bet. So 7-5-1 against the spread. So they may not cover the spread, but 10-3 is pretty good. And I think they're going to go to I was about to say San Diego, but they're going to go to L.A., play the Chargers, and backs against the wall, all this. And I think it does them some good to get away, to go on the road. Chargers never have a fan base there. You might hear more Eagles fans who make that trip because Eagles fans travel well than you will hear. You probably hear Fly Eagles Fly a whole lot more than you'll hear anything else. And, of course, we know Justin Herbert. I anticipate he'll try and play. He's got the broken left wrist that he had surgery on. But that should – I would think a broke or an injured, surgically repaired left wrist will hamper his ability to hold the football if he's hit in the pocket by Jordan Davis or Jalen Carter or Nolan Smith or whoever it may be that can knock the ball loose from him. So I think they go there and find a little bit of a run game. If you look back at last time Saquon was in SoFi, 255 yards, 70-yard touchdown, 72-yard touchdown. Got to get back to the basics, run the football well, and it starts with the offensive line, and be a little bit more creative. I think this is a game where the Eagles can kind of get out of their funk against a really good football team that's had some injuries they've been decimated on that offensive line. They've lost both of their tackles, so they should be able to get after Justin Herbert, make him a little bit uncomfortable. The Chargers don't have a great run game. They've had injuries there. They've lost 2 running backs, and their receivers don't scare me. So I think this is a game where the Eagles' defense can shine. Vic Fangio can step up in the national spotlight again and show the world why he's one of the top coordinators in the league, and they just got to score enough. And if they're running the football effectively, I think that'll get the job done.
At Rob Maaddi on the Twitter platform, Real Rob Maaddi on Instagram. Of course, AP Senior NFL Insider and reporter. Check out all of his work at apnews.org. And don't forget about Faithful in the Field, heard every Saturday and Sunday morning on 97.3 ESPN. And if you want to learn more about Faithful in the Field, just look up Faithful in the Field wherever you get your podcasting platforms. Rob, great stuff today. Appreciate you.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. The Eagles continue the 2025 season on Monday Night Football, heading to L.A. to face the Chargers.
You want to say crunch time? This is it. Oh, yeah, this is crunch time.
Pre-game coverage starts at 7 p.m. with Merrill Reese and Mike Quick calling all the action starting at 8:15. This is where the Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
Get ready to level up your game day at Tropicana Atlantic City. Introducing Gridiron Pit, powered by Caesars Sportsbook, a high-energy fan zone where blackjack meets big screens, bold bites, and big wins. Play your hand, catch every snap, indulge in tailgate-inspired food and drinks, and spin the big wheel of prizes. Every Saturday and Sunday throughout football season, Gridiron Pit, where the thrill of the game meets the rush of the table. Located near the cashier cage, learn more at Caesars.com. Must be 21 or older. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Tired of cooking and planning all of your meals each and every day? You need Prevail Nutrition to simplify your life. For almost a decade, Prevail Nutrition is a local meal prep company located in South Jersey that allows customers to design their own meal plan. or you can choose from a wide variety of chef-designed meals on their weekly changing Prevail Selects menu. You can order online for pickup or get free delivery on orders of over $50. Prevail Nutrition delivers to Atlantic and Cumberland counties along with Ocean City, or you can pick up your meals every Monday and Friday. Learn more about how Prevail Nutrition can simplify your life. Visit their website at prevailnutrition.club. Check out Prevail Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram. Prevail Nutrition is my go-to choice for prepared meals and foods. Order online, like me, at prevailnutrition.club.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in New York, New Jersey. And our more than 280 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
The countdown is on because diamonds are lighting up the holidays at Robert's Fine Jewelers. December 11th through the 14th only. 4 days to save big on diamond studs, diamond necklaces, diamond tennis bracelets, diamond rings, gemstone jewelry, and so much more. If it sparkles, it's on sale. This is the holiday event you've been waiting for to finish checking off those wish lists. Make this the biggest holiday ever at Robert's Fine Jewelers at the Plaza at Center Point in Northfield. December 11th through the 14th. Robert's Fine Jewelers, where your holiday sparkles. Online at robertsfinejewelers.com.
The champs are back, and it's game time at the family-owned Piccadilly Inn. Skip the lame chains. Treat your friends to their world-famous wings for eat-in or carry-out, and 6-packs to go. Get your chicken wing fix on Route 206 in Shamong. Visit Piccadilly.com.
Now back to Hanging with Hennig on 97.3 ESPN FM.
Who is right? You are an ox and a moron.
And on the 97.3 ESPN mobile app, powered by First Bank of Sea Isle City.
Hello? Get back in the room.
Streaming live on YouTube, Instagram, and the X platform.
All right, back here, Josh Hennig, Alex Berardis, hanging with you on 97.3 ESPN. Before we give you our final thoughts on the Eagles Chargers on Monday Football, which you can hear right here on 97.3 ESPN. Merrill Reese, Mike Quick, calling all the action at 8 p.m. I want to remind everybody about the Mike Seafood Run Walk for Autism. This year, it's going to be on Saturday, February 14th on the Boardwalk in Sea Isle City. So for Valentine's Day, you can help raise money for children with disabilities. Go to polarbearrunwalkforautism.com because any day you can do something for children with disabilities. It is a good day. All right, Alex. Eagles. So I have a couple keys to the game. I want to read up a couple texts really quick. So we only got so much time here. Joey D. and Ventnor chimes in and says the offense has been struggling. You have to call. Please call Frank Reich, says Joey D. and Ventnor. I think Joey D. speaks for all Eagle fans when he says that. I do think this is one that's funny because Stephen Ventnor says, fantasy football question. I'm playing against Josh this week. I'm trying to figure out who I should start. Now, he gives out a bunch of names. I want to say, Steve, just friendly recommendation. If you're trying to beat someone in fantasy football, don't text our radio show looking for advice because there's no incentive for me or Alex or anyone to help you.
Yeah, not a smart play there.
Also, no offense, Steve, but I see your text all week with Mike Gill. You present yourself as an expert on a lot of things. Why are you asking me for help if you supposedly know as much as you do?
Dang.
Which, listen, you're number one. You're the number one seed right now in the fantasy football league that we're in.
Then.
So why are you asking me?
He knows something then.
All right, keys for the Eagles game on Monday Football. Number one, Justin Herbert's been sacked the fourth most time in the NFL, 38. You have to get to the quarterback. I want to see Vic Fangio turn up the pressure. I want to see Jahad Campbell on the field playing way more this week. Number two, you got to start having a functional run game. Stop just running Saquon Barkley into the line, him not going anywhere. And number three, Jalen Hurts has to get on the same page with his receivers. No more of this, I thought you were going to be here, I thought you were going to be there. No more of that. So Alex, your prediction for the game is?
I don't see much changing because they haven't proven to me that anything's going to change, but I do see them just squeaking out a win. 17-14. Very close, low-scoring game.
I'm going to stick with my preseason prediction. I think they lose this game. I think they're going to lose something like 16-13 or like 17-14. Some like ugly, low-scoring game where like the defense shows up, but the offense doesn't.
So common theme is the offense either way, whether it's a win or loss, isn't putting up much here.
Probably.
Okay, that's a sad state to be in.
Yeah.
Frank Wright, where are you?
Yeah, where's Frank Wright when you need him? Thanks to Haley Taylor Simon for checking in. Andy McNamara for joining us. Rob Maaddi, what a great conversation I had with him. And thank you, Alex, for joining me here on 97.3 ESPN. Alex will be back in tomorrow with Billy Schweim in the locker room, 10 a.m. to noon on 97.3 ESPN. Then I'll be back with Mike Gill on Monday, getting you ready for Eagles-Chargers here on 97.3 ESPN. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care, be safe, stay warm. I'll catch you on the other side.
Sunday morning in the locker room with Billy Schwein, producer Alex Berardis, and Mr. Negadelphia PJ Corda join me in the studio. We'll talk Eagles football as the team heads west to face the LA Chargers. We'll get the keys to the game with Fox 29 News sports anchor Scott Grayson, brought to you by Blitz's Market of Ocean City. Hour 2, my fantasy football guru Brian Hartley checks in with his picks for Week 14 in the NFL, brought to you by Charlie's Bar. It's the locker room with Billy Schwein, Sunday morning from 10 a.m. to noon on 97.3 ESPN.